Yeah,
we
we're
started,
fucking
but okay.
Didn't catch that.
It looks like we are live now. Yep.
Are we though?
Yeah, I can hear it now.
Oh, you can hear? Thanks for checking. Hello.
Yes, I can hear it.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. Today we will be discussing the new units from the virtual summer memory event that has released, or well, is going to be released, as well as the skill evolutions that came out a week ago and are kind of irrelevant now, but still we'll talk about them.
I mean, they were irrelevant at the time anyway.
They're irrelevant if you don't have Claude and along with Snow. But let's introduce ourselves for now.
10 people watching.
What's up?
10 people already watching, wow.
Oh,
Down.
yeah, I didn't announce this too well, but I guess people are eager to do something during this weekend after watching Archie's stream of horrendous malfunctions and all that. So,
that won't happen here.
hopefully not. So joining us today is Irby.
Hello. I have nothing to say about myself, but
Oh, my display name is not displaying.
Yeah, you changed it from like.
I took it off, but let me put that back.
did you actually change your display name?
I changed it.
Oh yeah,
I removed it.
Yeah, it
Dot.
changed before, but then it was like your only handle is dot. Anyways, and
Amazing.
Is it going to update or?
it's updated.
There we go.
So also
There you
joining
go. Now
us.
I'm at the bottom.
Also joining us is our very tsundere Zalgus. Doesn't want to be known to the world.
No, I don't.
Except for now, apparently. And you can.
Only because it's making the stream look dumb.
Well, A to Z just seems really aesthetic, easy. So we will be discussing these units, starting off with the skill evolutions that have passed. First off, to discuss them will be Zalgus? No, it's Irby. Irby is covering Snow. Yes.
Yeah, I'm the one covering Snow.
Okay. Irby.
Should I start right now?
Let's just look at the comments super quickly. Hey Lily. What's up? Hey Thorn, and Summer Hype, and Shennong Archie, and you haven't leveled them yet, but you'll be doing that soon.
Yeah,
Like, it's the easiest shit to level them. You have like 1,000,000 boosts and dungeons, and you kind of just spent half your horde. He deserves better. Anyways, yes, without further ado, please continue, or start off the discussion. Irby, if you will.
Okay. This is going to be a very short summary because basically Snow's skill evolution consists in taking advantage of the benefits Claude can provide and very little else. The first thing he gets from his skill evolution, Herbalist, is a phase start 1000 HP heal to allies around him in one square at 100% ratio, which is pretty neat, but we already have that on a welfare, I guess, the hero that just released. But he also gains nourishment on phase start in the same range for allies, but at 90%.
Hey, free buff.
Nourished.
Start.
It's a free buff, but at this point, almost all units that have some healing purpose already have nourishment, so it's not a big deal, and it's not going to make a very big difference. The things that are going to make a difference is that he got access to a new hidden buff, which is Berserk plus Strengthening, which basically increases Snow's attack by an additional percentage, and
what is
also
percentage?
increases. That is a good question.
Sorry, this is your unit. I say that as.
I don't have Claude.
Wow.
It's a 2.6, so it's basically raised would be 6.76, and the defense lowered by Berserk is completely nullified.
That's correct.
With that, and basically the only units that can that can bestow Berserk Plus right now are like Claude 5 with his new skill evolution, and Tezcatlipoca Poker. So this will almost never come into effect, at least for Snow, unless you find ways to distribute buffs through Kimun or Goemon or whatever.
Yeah.
This is almost never going to happen.
This part
And
of
he
it,
also-
you would have to intentionally bring a unit to exploit it at that point. It's just not a passive thing that'll happen.
And he also gains a 2.5 multiplier for against enemies with Ardor, which not only Claude can provide, but a lot of other units can inflict Ardor on enemies, such as every unit that has Beach Babe, or even Festival of Nabuharu. There's a lot of units that actually bestow Ardor to enemies, so that's pretty weird. But I guess you can use them with those units to get that exploit. But really, I don't think this is a really good skill evolution at all, because I think it's mostly here for flavor, because it supposedly works so well with Claude, but then again, they are both slash units, and Snow is a unit whose kit requires him to move every turn, and you also need to move Claude to bestow Berserk Plus. So it's kind of like, there's not going to be a big benefit, because mostly Snow isn't going to take full advantage of this.
I mean, Snow can move for the majority of turns. Like, Claude doesn't have to move as often
Claude
as
doesn't
Snow.
need to move every turn, but
Berserk lasts a while.
he does need to sacrifice his protection and tenacity.
I mean, it's
to
like one turn, and you're like healing a bunch, and you have tenacity and protection and all that for those turns you're healing up. So I guess it makes it's a fine sacrifice if you're if you're actually out healing the damage at that point, which could be possible with the nourishment as well as Snow's usual ridiculously tanky kit. It's
You might as well just use Tezcat instead, because he doesn't have to move.
well,
Yes.
you could, but then you're missing out also on that spicy Ardor advantage. It's like he's
Wow.
really well built for Claude in that case.
just use Tezcatlipoca and a Beach Babe unit. You got it.
I guess, I think they do have some utility, even though they're both slash units. I mean, you could equip one of them, or even both of them, with the whole pulling thing, so that they can actually attack more. And also, with you could take advantage of both, several buffs. Unfortunately, this wasn't my unit. That's a bad excuse. Honestly, I just didn't have time. I would have calculated the damage, but I remember dealing like at least 250k damage with just Snow and Claude. And that was without Vigor at the time, so even though Claude can give Vigor. So that's like Ardor advantage, Berserk Plus strengthening, and nourishment. And you could also get a Vigor and get away with attack up, if that's notable at all, from Claude's charge, as well as you think that's pretty much all the moves.
I still think it's not really that worth it, but it can be good for some really spicy memes of Snow dealing a lot of damage, because basically you're going to have to make to sacrifice and make Snow completely dead for one turn just to get that Berserk Plus on.
Yeah. I mean, I can give you the actual numbers for the attacks if you want.
Sure.
Yeah. If he has Berserk Plus and Nourishment, and the enemy doesn't have Barda, so just those two, he will deal 17,142 damage. So that's with Nourishment and Berserk Plus on himself, so Berserk Strengthen. If the enemy has Ardor, and Snow probably won't have Ardor, because Snow has to be behind him, behind Claude, to get the Ardor, which is stupid. So if he's attacking an enemy with Ardor on them, that will be 42,855. So he can do decent damage for sure, but it's just kind of you have to use 2 5-star slots for this, and it's kind of for 2 slash range units who are, will be defenseless for that turn.
If you're talking about the Skull Illusion, you pretty much just have to talk about like how strong exactly is the Snow X Claude combo.
It's not. It's not
very strong.
It's not that strong because they don't. They lack the ability to pull, and also pure slash comps aren't really that strong anyway. At least with not with these two anyway. So
that could work. And plus, it has some interesting sort of positioning considerations with it, or you could position Claude, for example, behind so that he can miss and build up his charge, or you could position him in front so that Ardor, or you could position him side to side so that Snow could take advantage against Ardor on the same turn. I think it's kind of fun in terms of how you can play around it, but there's a lot of other units, granted 5-star units, that can deal the same amount by themselves. I just think
better range.
I guess.
Snow's primary utility wasn't to deal damage in the first place anyway, so it's kind of like that's what like why I think this is just a neat little flavorful thing.
I mean, the nourishment is useful, I guess.
Yeah, Snow is already a pretty good defensive support healer / CB banner already, so they didn't really feel the need to make him all that powerful.
Hey.
I don't even know why he got a skill Evo. Like
they did it because Melusine had one, and they're like, "Hey, let's do something cute and give him both one."
I know, but they weren't even relevant to the event at hand. Like at all, they didn't appear at all.
I don't know. In terms of why these two, I'm not really sure why at all. It's a neat thing, but I guess this might have been something that was made just because they needed some kind of new content for this code, and like, let's think of something thematic and fun, and this is what we get.
Oh yeah, also you need to pull 2 5-stars. 2 separate 5-stars.
Hey, I got them.
Yes,
It'll be fun for me.
that are
Well, I
probably
don't.
possible to get on rate up these days.
I mean, you guess you could have gotten. I didn't even check the rates for the Snow banner, but
I think it'll be fun. Like, Irby was a.
Yeah, the rates are the same ones as the date quests.
okay, so they were
They
the
were
fat
pretty
rates.
high.
Yeah, Irby made a video before of a Daikaku, I believe, in the challenge quest 3, and it was just showcasing some like how being able to switch strategies mid game can be useful. Like between, it was like that's what you're demonstrating anyways, I believe, between skill locking and doing protection and even sealing buffs and all that.
Yes.
And I feel like if you paired Claude and Snow together, that's also another case of dynamic strategy switching.
Yes, but with Daikoku's case, he also inflicts curse on a 3v3 radius, so that kind of already compensates for the loss of protection, at least. The Snow doesn't have anything like that, unfortunately.
I guess not. I kind of want to say more about him, but I didn't get a chance to test him too much besides that one challenge quest. They're quite strong, but they can't really solo the quest from what I found. I mean, they really can't because of Phase 4, but yeah, whatever.
Which quest is this?
Challenge quest 3 of January.
Oh, oh, okay. Yeah, they can't. Snow has slash range and Claude is poop for damage, so
yeah, for his magic range on charge, and it was like it happened occasionally, and I was only doing tickle damage to Aizen before they just eventually, after like a number of turns, just completely wiped me.
Big surprise there.
Hey, if they weren't just denying them because of slash range, then they could have probably done it. Oh well. Anyway, I think we talked a good amount for this unit. Can you please?
Too much.
So yeah.
Sorry.
Next.
Okay, well, can you please read the commentary before we go?
Let's see. Where did you left off?
I haven't leveled him yet, Lamau, but I'll be doing that soon. There you go. Near the top.
All right. Cool. I hope you do your best. What? Do your best. Okay.
Ganbane.
Post stream had Archie feel relaxed Oh, alright, that's cool.
Oh god, I can't wait for the stream. I've been working on this everything for the stream for the past 2 days. I need to relax too. I just fucking. Sorry, I'll rant after. Just go on.
Ted suggested Christmas Sea Tree, Claude, and Snow. I don't know how good that is considering.
Doesn't
need
Citri need to
to
move too?
Yes,
What the
yes.
heck?
Citri needs to move to copy his buffs to the allies. So
Do you
I'm
know?
not,
Oh yeah, irremovable. Never mind.
not really sure.
I was gonna say, I wonder if Berserk plus Strengthen can be copied, but no, it can't.
No, it
It's
can't.
specifically
it's one of those
irremovable.
invisible. It's one of those invisible, irremovable buffs.
There.
Snow's skill level sucks a bit. It's alright. Snow was already decent. He wasn't.
Yeah,
he
I mean, I
wasn't a
still
bad
find
unit.
him. You guys are just salty because you don't have Claude 5 too.
No. It's interesting lore-wise, but it's a sleeper. Yeah, it is the skill evolution that is. The Claude or test got broken, yes, to make that Berserk plus at least work, but you still have a free nourishment to heal. Old 5 stars, can they be saved? Let's find out. Well, already a lot of them were saved.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think I skipped a few comments, but they weren't very.
Oniwaka and like Ryoto got like phenomenal skill evos, but their base kit was really trash, so they needed it. Snow, it like you could say it's not the best Evo for a 5-star, but he didn't really need one in the first place. He was good where he was. I mean, he could have been a lot better compared to the standard, but still, he's a far cry from the worst 5-star, even before this Evo.
Next thing you know, Aizen's gonna get skill evo.
Oh, jeez.
God, no. I still think Shennong is good. I don't know about that, but sure. He can be good now, I guess, with the pull, maybe. I don't know.
Cherno? You mean like 5-star Cherno, regular 5-star Cherno?
The one,
regular
the one
5-star
with the
Shennong?
ailment spam on slam.
Yeah.
Doesn't he like just like freaking freeze
He has
and then maybe
like a
count down
million
on
debuffs.
turns?
He has a million debuffs on attack or something.
I feel like they were playing it safe with the Evo. He needs another one.
Brian Ojida, isn't Snow the worst unit in the game? That is what I've heard before. Well, you heard wrong.
Not even
There are-
close.
Not even close.
They are.
The worst is Seth, but yeah, probably.
Yeah, Saf is 5 is pretty bad. He needs a skill evo really badly.
The Moritaka Valentine's is close.
Yeah, pretty bad.
I don't think he doesn't exist. We only have one Moritaka variant. Okay, moving on.
Worst 5 is Seth, I think. Yeah, the worst is Eita.
He was the worst
not really
before,
that
but
bad
now
right
he's got a nice place, standard position. He's just about as good as Ahab, and he also has a defense penetration on top of that too.
And you know, he can give that Ardor for a bit of support in a unorthodox range, which can be useful.
Yeah, it's just like if you're doing a full row and Eita's on the left or on the right, then it can just buff everyone, which is neat.
I've actually wished I'd had such ranges before in certain positioning.
Yeah, it's quite a blessing to have that sort of thing, or quite the ardor, I guess. This is crappy fun, isn't it? All right, let's move on.
Yeah. There's nothing else worth mentioning, I believe.
My turn.
All right, Melusine, if you will.
Let's complain about Melusine. All right, so
Melusine.
yes, Melusine. So Melusine 4-star. She got a skill evo probably just to go with Snow, because you know they're rivals and all that. And although she, unlike Snow, she kind of needed it because she wasn't really that great. All she did was pretty much just crit bot and horizontal movement, but you didn't really have that much of a reason to move her.
Like she
guess
was good
maybe.
in a time when crit was good, but crit being good at low rates has not been relevant for a long time since now you just get buffs so much more reliably. So
Also,
she's one of those.
there were always other people who hit much harder than her because she only has crit and with nothing else to back it up. So like Ibaraki had a brawl.
Yeah.
And,
Her main gimmick was just having 2 different chances of getting crit, which I guess raised
the
the
horizontal
chance.
nice, but anyway, so she got a skill evo for ruler. So Are you gonna bring up my graphic or?
Oh right. Here.
I don't know if you want to bring it up because I don't know if this looks fine, but I made diagrams just because.
This is the first range of its kind, so I think so.
Yeah. I did it in reverse order, but well, the first part is that they increased the CP battery slightly. It went from like 12 CPs to 16 CP, so you know that's cool and all. The second part is the actual interesting part. So when she moves in that cone in front of her, so in that red area, she will apply oppression at 90% rate. That's actually pretty good. It's like the highest level of highest proc rate of its kind. So it's pretty good for oppressing people. The other interesting, in quotes, part is that she will apply buff steal to that range, but the rate is really, really trash. It's 20% at skill level 100. So it's kind of like the most I can say about it is that it's the biggest range on demand buff steal, so buff remove essentially, that we have, because she can theoretically do it every turn. But the problem is that the proc rate is really low. 20% is really, really bad.
Good thing I have Mary's
Isn't
fully seated.
Boka's also pretty wide range?
His is like, I think it's like in a 2 range around him, like that ruler range down there.
So
I think I don't remember.
Yeah, probably.
But
I don't remember either.
So yeah, the problem with that buff steal is that there are other people who do it better than her. Like the obvious example is Daikoku 5. He does it without having to move. Oh wait, I should actually bring up my notes because I actually did write this down. I was just looking at the diagram the entire time. Yes, Daikoku can do the buff steal function globally on the entire map at a 60% rate every 2 turns, which is, you know, a much higher rate, but it also hits the entire map where Daikoku can just be sitting wherever the fuck he likes. And as for the oppression, Daikoku can 3 and 4, 5 can actually do that as well. The rate's lower, but again, it's global. And the main problem is that in order to benefit from Melusine's oppression and buff steal, you have to move her. And besides this, all you're getting out of it is crit. And something I didn't list here is that she also gets a 1.6 multiplier to oppressed enemies, which is cool and all. But again, you have to move her. Actually, right. Let's see. With oppression, advantage, and crit, she will deal 13,299, which is decent. So it's not a terrible skill either, because that massive oppression is, you know, quite nice. You know, it's on demand, so you can choose when to do it. Unlike Daikoku, who he's forced to do it every 2 turns. Although, you know, it can only apply every 2 turns anyway. But with Melusine, you can choose when to do it specifically. So if you like need to stop them right this second,
and it's a really decent chance. I've been thinking about maybe
the chance is much higher.
If we have like someone who has break as well on demand, then with Melusine you could just indefinitely stall them. I don't think there's anyone like that is quite as reliable as this, but Melusine sets up the precedent that could happen in the future, I guess.
Yeah. So, like, it's not a terrible skill Evo. The oppression is probably the best part of it, just because it's so massive, and you know she has horizontal movement to quickly do it everywhere or wherever. Not everywhere, but it's just that the buff steal, which is supposed to be thematic, I believe, because like Melusine was like a hoarder or something like that. I forget exactly.
Some sort of dragging that towards treasure.
Yes. So it's really just the rate that I don't know why they made it so low. I mean, I guess you could turn scum it, but you know, if you're gonna play that, you can do that for everything.
Wow, imagine going for a 20% chance for steal.
I mean, think about it this way: the way stealing buffs work for other units, sometimes it's just like it's per unit hit. Whereas if she manages to roll it successfully, she'll get it for every single square available at the same time, which could be useful.
So does Daikoku.
Okay, Kirby. But yeah. You wouldn't really be using the buff steal probably for Melusine on demand because it's just so low. Mostly for oppression as immediate use.
Yeah, the oppression is really the best part of it because just wide range, very very high proc rate, 100% if you skill seed her, and it makes her hit a bit harder. So that's pretty much it. It's okay. It's not that great.
Yeah. Oh, and
I think it's a pretty mediocre skill evolution, but at least she got
see, like I
a
don't
wide range oppression.
like I don't necessarily think that's mediocre. Like, yeah, it's not just like a million buffs that makes her like so much stronger, but it's also I can see this having unique functionality. Like, it doesn't even have to be break. It could be like fear, and then on the off turn you just move her once or something, or like something like that.
If it was fear, I'd be really impressed because that'd be just ridiculous.
Another thing that kind of makes the buff steal lamer is that if you're using it for the purposes of buff removal, there are people who do it at magic range, so most of that at range already pretty reliably. Like what's his face, Azazel, he can buff remove at a much higher rate than that, than 20%. So it's not like we have a shortage of people able to buff remove. So I mean, I guess if you wanted to do a meme where you pool all your buffs into Melusine by stealing everything, but it's just I wish it was a higher rate.
I mean, there's advantages for something like this where it's after moving rather than on attack. I do appreciate that has a different activation timing. I mean, maybe you want to steal a buff from someone just off the edge without actually hitting them. That happens often.
They really wanted to make her worth moving.
Yeah.
Which is fair, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, she had two abilities related to that before, the extend movement and the crit. But it's just not enough. So it's nice that they made that a lot more focused again now. I don't think I'll use her for everything, obviously, but I'll keep her in mind if I ever need oppression memes.
That's probably all. There's not much to say about this, honestly. So let's move along.
All right. Go ahead and read the comments.
Otohime didn't happen. No, it didn't. Be more to rerun with the SpEvo. Yes, he does. The Dragon Maid, molasses skill Evo is tasty. Cool diagrams, thank you. Leaked invalidated. Melusine's the better ruler.
You'll see my lores later today. Goodbye and farewell.
I mean, to be fair, Leaked can still equip the Shiro thing, but
yeah, Zine can equip any CP to allies.
Damn that oppression. I mean, she's a queen. Yeah, she's literally. Another face up battery. When will LifeWonders stand? They already had Christmas Ryota. I mean, it would help. It would help if I had one on my bloody friends list.
Imagine not having a Christmas Ryota on your friends list. You should have heard Salgas. He was so hyped up for Hephaestus' 30 CP. I was like, you know that Ryota exists, right?
Society has progressed beyond the need for leaked ruler memes. Yeah.
True.
It's all about Christmas Ryota memes.
It's all about Christmas Ryota now, and
combine
now. If you
combine both, okay? Just combine both, and you'll be happy.
No, and just use Hephaestus now instead of leaked. Instead.
Well, Hephaestus can do the Ardor as well, so that's nice.
Yeah, he can do Ardor and crit, so.
True.
Yeah.
I guess. Well, anyways, that's pulling another 5-star.
Yes, Ara, I know Leaked is still better because he can equip Oh! She said that.
They have larger range than a Hephaestus anyways, but Hephaestus technically gives 3 more CPs than Leaked does with the Shiro card. A ruler plus the Shiro AR gives only 27, I believe. So you get slightly more if you use Hephaestus, but again, it's only just whoever's adjacent to him. A bit more tender.
Lipsis. Wow, I read what Zao Ara was going to say. Truly a Joseph Joestar moment. Yes, thank you. Buff steak. Oh, buff steel meta.
Buff steak.
Buff steak.
No, I'm hungry now.
The fan attacks. Bullhosamos didn't like that typo. I'm actually not really a bigger fan of steak. Oh. Anyway.
Yeah. Time for the real meat. Sorry for keeping you here talking about lame-ass skill evolutions. Let's actually talk about the units now that are equally as lame. Right. Oh no, it's a unit I'm talking about. It's Hephaestus. Alright, so Hephaestus is the first unit we will talk about. The virtual summer memory banner. He is a 5-star slash unit, and his main, most notable functionality is to be able to have the fish hit combo, just like Jacob. However, unlike Jacob, who is required to miss in order to pull units in, Hephaestus has to hit at least 1 unit before he can pull units in. And the range is the same as Dagon's pulling range. That is to say, it's a 3x3 square right in front of him. Except unlike Dagon, he can pull 2 exactly the same time. Yes, Serbian, I know that technically Dagon can pull twice at the same turn, but those are 2 different activation conditions.
I wasn't going to say anything, but okay.
Okay. But yeah, Hephaestus can pull 2 units. Can pull units in from the 3x3 square, 2 squares inwards. So he'll always be able to follow up with his combo, which he is granted himself on move for massive damage for the units he pulls in later. And that is complemented by his crit that occurs when he strikes the first unit hit. So after he hits the first unit, for a subsequent unit, he'll be able to land crit, and that would also apply to the first unit he hits later for the second attack in combo. And that's probably the most notable thing about him, just simple damage as well as the fish hit combo. He also is able to act as an evasion 2-turn clock. So on phase start, he gets a free evasion, you don't even have to move him. And on subsequent turns of multiples of 2, within that phase, he is able to activate evasion for himself again if you decide to move him. It's not like it's at 80%, but if you decide to seed him and he also has concentration up, then it would be guaranteed in that case. Or if you decide to move him beside someone he likes. And the damage, as you can see, is somewhat respectable. If he actually has his crit with the combo penalty and concentration, he'll deal 12,000 damage per square. And if he is doing his charge, it's actually not too much higher because it's just like the crit is just the lower level in that case. That'll be 39,000 damage per square. And he actually, his second attack, as Zalkus pointed out, would be weaker for during his charge, just because the crit is at a lower level.
Yeah.
And besides his evasion utility, for himself only, by the way, and his damage dealing utility, he acts as just a general purpose, general facilitator, being able to help his units either through bestowing them Ardor on move, or through horizontal repositioning, or through bestowing CP to himself, as well as allies left and right. 30 CP is pretty respectful, and it seems a lot of people are excited for how large that is, even though I'm just like, because Ryota exists.
Yeah, but no one pulled for him.
Just add DT.
Just add DT and win the game.
DT, if you're listening to the Seed Ryota. Anyways. And he can also charm units, which is neat. Just like the same way Dagon is able to curse units, Hephaestus is able to charm the enemies he hits as well as the enemies that happen to be behind the units he hits. And he'll be hitting a lot of units because of that pull from earlier, like you said.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah, it's a good. I forget the chance, but it's okay. If I remember
It's
correctly.
9%.
90%.
The pull, right?
Oh, I was talking about the charm.
Oh, the charm.
It's 40%.
40%.
Yeah,
Without concentration. With concentration, it's higher.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty good.
It's-
It's not
it's-
enchantress rates, so it's good.
It's pretty standard rates. Most things range from about 30 to 40.
It's like an AR, which gives
So
it
he actually gets 50%, and since he has combo, he can apply it.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, double
He has a
chance.
really reliable chance to apply it.
So he can be a decent charmer. So even though like he does have a clear purpose as a fish hit damage dealer, I don't really see him as a particularly gimmicky unit. It seems like his best sort of usage would just be, well, if you want a general facilitator, and if you just want to deal a lot of damage and you want like to have a bit of protection every second turn, I guess. And I'm kind of just reading out his kit at this point, but it really just he doesn't particularly fill in niche. He just does big damage, and he can pull in units to do big damage. That's kind of how he functions in the end. Granted, you might be better using some other units for smaller maps because some of the utilities are a bit redundant. In that case, you could deal equally as much damage through other range units like thrust units. But yeah, just don't think of Hephaestus as gimmicky unit. He's just a good general purpose unit. The ARs I'd recommend to bring with him is the Hogan AR, whose name I forget, which allows you to pull units in on move.
The way of the sword is just beginning.
Something like that. Yeah. And even though he already has a pull, that's only on attack. So if you want to actually pull units in preemptively before you land your first hit, that could be useful. Also, he is meant to be positioned in the front line with the units left and right on them. And you know what else would benefit from units left and right on them? The Ibaraki card, which bestows glance left and right. So that could be neat. And the Suzuka card. Holy crap, I added that there, but I forgot what it is. How embarrassing.
It gives evasion on hitting enemies to self.
Oh yeah, thank you, Irby.
Evasion map.
Evasion can be useful for the off turns if you you absolutely want evasion every turn. I mean, it's not going to be super reliable, but then again, it's like we said, he is able to attack twice as much because of the whole combo deal, and should have a lot of units in front because of the whole pulling situation too. And the last one, AR I'd recommend, is just the AR that would...
Hot Springs AR.
God damn it. There's so many Hot Springs AR, I don't even know. But the one with Zhao's on it was Chernobog being a happy or something. That one bestows the Hot Springs buff, which gives them CP, which could be nice too. That's one that bestows Hot Springs, right?
Yes.
Your Hot Springs, 20 CP per time for 6 turns. Or
Yeah,
5, I guess.
since he already starts with 30 CP, with that little bonus, he'll quickly get up to 50 CP, and then the next phase he'll already have his charge, not within the same phase. So if you're interested in having slightly more damage through his charge, then I would recommend bringing that card too. His charge will not interrupt his usual functionality, by the way. He's just like Moritaka, where his charge is exactly his regular attack, but just stronger. Being able to pull units in, as well as having crit.
I think you should have put the chat on the bottom right. Because it's kind of hard to read.
It's 50-50 or something, however the expression goes. 2020, retrospect is 2020. Anyways, I will read out the comments, because I think that's it. Wait, actually, what am I talking? Do you guys have anything to comment on this unit? Anything addition to what I said?
Well, his Ardor is that 80% rate is one of the highest. Yeah, it's one of the highest rates for a 1 square away. Square away attack damage buff. It's tied with Housamo, who also gives Ardor, and Clawed 5 for Berserk Plus.
And it's actually guaranteed if you full seed him and have concentration, which
I
know a lot of you have. And I know a lot of you
has a pretty high chance.
Yeah, that's the only people I wrote. Housamo and Clawed 5, who both have 80%, and Hephaestus has 90% basically. So
Clawed 5 bestows Ardor at 80%.
No, he bestows Berserk Plus 1 square away at 80%. I was just saying damage buffs in a square.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I guess. Okay. Anything that you'd like to add, Irby?
I just think it's pretty neat that he has that his face start concentration is 100%, since that is really what is what I found the most important for his kid. It doesn't matter if all the other units have 90% skill rates. It doesn't matter, because he at least has concentration at 100% without skill seeds. And
that's probably why he has
makes...
a bunch of 80% rates.
Yes.
They know. They know.
But he also has some 90% rates, which is pretty good.
The crit combo and
the evasion as well.
And Hephaestus is really just a unit you'll want to finish phases in exactly 2 turns. If he just benefits from being moved every second turn a lot from refreshing his combo, as well as the refreshing Ardor all around him. And also, that's exactly how long concentration lasts as well. So if you're playing by him, try to aim for 2 turns overall per phase. I guess that ends our thoughts for this unit. Unless
he's actually pretty simple.
Yeah, a simple buffer CP battery.
Yeah, I guess. Like I said, it's
big damage, man.
He had a lot to take in his kit, but overall, in terms of how you would use him, just it's not like big brain strats. You just bring him, he does damage, and he can hit a lot of things as a slashing it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I will go ahead and read the comments. Where were we? Buff Steak. That's where we are.
Buff Steak.
Let's see. Shen Maya. Very cool, Lulu. Very cool. You have the guys. Congrats on getting them. Nice job with this era. Oh, yeah. I totally didn't finish this, like, 1 hour before the stream. And the Shennong one, like, 10 minutes before the stream.
Terrible.
Yeah, I don't have the guys to either Gali. Isn't life just unfair? God. I kind of want Otohime, but sometimes people just don't have the luck. Even though I didn't pull
You
it
didn't pull.
What?
How do you? What are you saying? You didn't even pull.
So? Doesn't mean I shouldn't have her. Jeez.
At
Well,
least
then
do a
use a
ticket
gold
pull.
Use a gold ticket.
You
I
can
don't...
just-
See, the thing is I want her, but not enough to spend any amount of tickets or stones. You know, is that so...
Not even one ticket.
No, not at all. Everyone's doing pulling streams, you know, I'm like, nope.
I also only spent a few tickets, but I got pretty lucky on that. So
Oh yeah,
I
you get
no
half
luck
or
to
something?
judge.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Literally everyone's
10
getting
tickets
half.
Hephaestus. Wow. Bye.
Like, Archie is getting half, Erta's getting half, now, Ruby's getting half. Did he get half, Zalgus?
Yeah, I did. I got 2 copies of Hef.
Oh
on
my
phone.
fucking god! Is Hep right up among the right up? Jeez. Kinda makes me want to pull just so I don't miss out, but not really. Alright, Hidden Wall says just pull more. I'll pull more in the next manner when Furufumi gets delayed again to the following event. 80 level, my daddy, I'm assuming you mean Hef. Yeah, there's a lot of level 80 faces, right? Jesus Christ. TikTok.
Yeah, like Grazed.
Grats and Hidden Wall. I do not subscribe to TikTok, so I cannot compare. Oh no, the T word. I'm just gonna skip that. Oh no, what is this? Why is there politics? Thank you, Quain. I really like this Hephaestus. Thank you for keeping it Housamo. He's Dagon, but crit giving. Yeah, kind of like Dagon's a bit more defensive, but he also hits hard. But Hephaestus is just
Dagon also has on-demand pulls
yeah,
because he can move to do it.
true.
Yeah.
Which is why I said the slashing, the swordsman card would be pretty good with the Hephaestus if you just happen to be out of range from literally anyone in front row. You find them very useful and strong, especially with the Toji AR. What's the Toji AR? Is that the one I was just talking about? Or was that the evasion one on face start? Because that is complete bonus.
The evasion one on face start is
complete
worthless.
Yeah.
The CP to allies is so nice too. Well, that doesn't clarify. I guess he just talked about his base kit. Very useful. I hope we can get him. I hope I could get him too if I ever decide to pull, which I probably won't. I love CSing with him almost every turn by himself. Really, you can get him up that fast? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he you know, combo and slash.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
he gets CS very fast.
Also, he gives the 30 CP to himself, so
Yeah,
he always starts
yeah.
with at least 30.
yeah, that's why I recommended the Zao card, but I didn't realize it'd be that fast even outside of face resets.
Yeah, it's quite literally every face start in these quests.
For me, I kind of just I use him, but all I do is I just move him to the back to give order. It's fine though. We're just doing the level 30 quest. It's no big deal. You can't call yourself a true Housamo tuber if you don't multi in every banner SMH. Well, I'm pretty sure I've skipped the banner before. It's not the first time I've entirely skipped the banner.
Disgusting.
I think, yeah, I also entirely skipped the Christmas tree banner, the one with Tom Grease there. That, yeah, it was just like not really anything I wanted there.
It was a terrible banner.
The bully pants mediocre proc rates.
I'm surprised they still haven't given anyone from that banner a skill evolution. Fuck. Is anyone else's stream going? No! Damn it. Well, it seems like it's fine for
no,
everyone. Good, good. You pull every banner, Archie? So do you, Archie? So Ara, do you agree with me or not? About the stream buffer?
I think he means about being Dagon but with crit. I think personally I don't agree with that statement because it's a lot more defensive because of the curse and the actual access to
And the tenacity.
Tenacity, yes.
Yeah, plus he's a Dagon also has the utility of being able to help other people deal. Actually, never mind. Hephaestus also has that functionality. Dagon can give stigma, but and like what's his face? Hephaestus can give ardor and sometimes crit. I didn't even talk about the fact that he bestows crit, but it's like it's one of those super low crit bestows, so I didn't even bother mentioning it. I know it'll be useful when it does happen, but yeah, you're not gonna rely on it. It's just a nice bonus when it does happen. Even if you do fully see them and he has concentration, it's not gonna happen very often.
Hey, I rely on rates like that sometimes for my videos.
It is pretty high. It's higher than Transient's evasion if you count with combo, which is it's like 30% on possibly 6 squares. So
yeah,
pretty good.
Yes, it's just like regular faces. Can't regular faces do the same thing, bestowing crit?
He can, but he doesn't have a combo.
That's match.
You can only hit.
Thing deal.
It's 5 squares, not 6.
His base rate is higher though. He has 30% at base and has coolant.
Well, if you personally found a Hephaestus, regular Hephaestus 5's crit bestow to others useful, you'll probably find it useful for this too. I don't really like it. I like super reliable stuff, so it's like whatever for me. But that's just a difference. Of
wow, I'm sure you love the new Algernon then.
Doesn't he like? He doesn't even have crit, does he?
He doesn't, but he has.
Which is funny. It's like
he has a lot of 100% though.
I guess 100% flat damage. Let's go. We'll talk about that soon. But let me just. Why are you guys talking so much? Oh my god! Stop freaking me out, Lulu. I know that you're screwing with me. It's not buffering.
Yeah, no, it's not buffering now.
God damn it, you assholes. Anyways, let's see. Hepha's attack mode Dagon. I mean, Gawi has a point that they're quite similar, just pulling and dealing massive damage, but there are nuances that do matter to point out. Happy is Ether. Yeah, that's a nice bonus too. Being able to just ignore most attribute bullshit. No, don't let's see arrows seeing the what's the thing? I can take off and bright during the week. Yeah,
it's disgusting.
I mean, I would. Actually, I wouldn't because I don't even have any other good E3 units. But I can move my fire half out of the way and put Takumaru in.
Disgusting. Never put your Christmas Takemaru in your support ever.
Disgusting. I don't even remember what he does besides the buff cleanse every so often, or the.
That's like his main feature, and it's like obviously now Teramichi does better. Like who cares?
The most interesting part of him is that he's upside down.
Yes.
Upside down.
That is the best part of his kit.
The truest feeling when you see his kit, your head turns upside down to respond. Okay, I think we're done shitting on Takemaru for some reason. You were supposed to be talking about that. Let's just move on to the next unit. Hombre Tigre, amigo.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, you should have had the Yahoo on demand.
If I had time, maybe, but I clearly didn't. You're there. You know that, jeez.
Yes, I do. So Hombre Tigre, he's the best looking unit on the banner.
Best looking? Yeah.
No. So Tigre has he has this kind of gimmicky kit based around taunt. So on phase start, he grants himself taunt, and in the same ability actually, he actually that's probably better if I talk taunt strength first. So he has a hidden buff, just like Snow, called Taunt Strengthen, and while he has Taunt, he has a flat 30% to all his proc rates, as long as he has Taunt, so his proc rates get pretty high. The problem with his first skill, you see it says attract 1 square away 90%.
Oh, I forgot to update this.
Yes, you did. So the problem with that skill is that it says 90%, and even though it appears after taunt, because they're in the same skill, they actually roll at the same time. So it cannot benefit from the taunt strength, and so the pull is actually just 90% rate, unless you already have taunt from like a previous phase. It's kind of one of those weird nuances. You can probably change back now, but yeah, it pulls in that 3x3 square. By 1 tile each on phase start, so that's pretty nice because Tigre is only a blow unit, thrust when he CS's, and so with such a short range, he really wants to actually be able to hit things, because that's mainly what he does. So I'll talk about his other stuff before I talk about his charms, since the other stuff's simpler. So at the start of turn, he gets limit at 70%, which is nice, because with Taunt Strengthen, that's 100%. So 100% limit at the start of every turn is a nice damage buff. Every time he hits something, he gains 12 CP, and that's at a 90% rate, which is pretty good, because even without buffs, Taunt Strengthen, it means that he has a very good chance of getting extra CP, which will help him get his CS quicker, which is important because his CS grants him Taunt. So if his Taunt runs out, he needs to refresh it. And if he gets hit, he takes it, or if he gets hit, he gets 20 CP. Also at 70% rate, so 100% rate. So it helps him build the CP fast again. So he's really good at building his CS fast to constantly refresh Taunt and deal lots of damage.
How fast? You tried it now, I'm assuming?
I have tried him out, but I haven't specifically tried the CP, although I have the numbers. So when he hits something, he will gain 24 CP combined with his base rates of blow. 29 CP on overkill, so he would only need to get hit by like 3 enemies to get his CP. CS.
20, 60. Yeah, he'll get like 60 if he gets by 3 enemies, but it's a decent amount. He has to get hit a lot, but he doesn't have too much defensive measures besides Guts itself.
Yes. So the other thing is when he gets hit, he will gain Guts at a 50% rate with buff Taunt Strength. I keep saying buff. With Taunt Strength, and that's an 80% rate, and that's ridiculoly high. So it means that he's really good at surviving to 1 HP, just hovering at 1 HP with full strength limit, just because he keeps proccing Guts at an 80% rate, which is very good. So let's talk about the charm, because the charm's kind of dumb. If you could bring up the other diagram, please.
Yeah, sure. It's dumb, but it's also one of the most... Actually, talk about it first, and I want to comment on it after. But
okay, so the way his charm works is a bit weird. When an enemy hits him, it doesn't charm the actual person who hit him, it charms around them. So in the diagram I have there, so assuming a thrust enemy hits Tigre, he would charm in those 4 tiles around the yellow tile, not the yellow tile. It's at a 10% rate, 40% with Taunt Strengthen, which is pretty standard. So nothing much interesting there. Although I think it should be higher, honestly, considering it has a condition for him to have Taunt, which won't always be up. But yeah, anyway, it has a kind of weird area of effect. I really don't know why it's like that.
It's weird. It's kind of lame that the unit who attacks doesn't get charmed, but then again, I mean, they already hit by that point, so it'd be nice to preemptively charm everyone else around them. Like the previous things, abilities that were spread before were stuff like what's called weakness from Shiro, as well as break from Algernon. And
yeah.
I believe Kichimuna had something like both break as well as bind. So I would say like this is like kind of like a bind up the spread, although it's kind of dumb that like again it's not affecting the unit that targeted. But charm is pretty strong. If like one of the enemies attack first, in the same turn, get spreads charmed, then the enemies that would normally fall up wouldn't be able to, because I'm pretty sure charm just preemptively denies them like that at that point. So it's neat.
Yeah, in order to charm like multiple enemies, you would need them to be clustered around each other and hit Tigre at once. I mean, it's the point. It's supposed to be the point. He's supposed to get hit a lot, but it's just the kind of weird limitation that I don't know why they added. Or actually, you wouldn't even be able to do that, because if you get charmed by one enemy, then, or if you get hit by one enemy and they charm the ones around them, they physically can't be charmed by the ones surrounding, because they can't attack anymore.
Yeah.
So that's really stupid. Whatever. We can go back to the other image now, the CS.
Sure. But I was just...
I guess the idea of that is just the the guys that he hits continue hitting him so that he can build his CP.
I
Maybe?
suppose.
I don't know.
Maybe it's supposed to be like a one-on-one thing.
Yeah.
That
it's a duo.
Tigre's awesome wrestler. He's in a one-on-one
just
duel.
like and
and
everyone just
everyone-
like so enamored by the captivating battle that they're just charmed.
You know what? That probably is actually.
The lore kid strike again.
He also removes Drain and Darkness from Self, which is nice because those both prevent CP, that CS, and Tigre really wants to have access to his CS. So his CS will charm, or I'll talk about the other two first. So it applies crit and taunt, which he wants to be able to refresh taunt to get his taunt strength, and the crit is nice for extra damage. It's at a thrust range, so he gives him some actual range and while still maintaining decent damage. But the charm is exactly the same thing. As what I just said with the other charm. When he hits an enemy, it will only charm the enemies around what he hits. So if he hits a single unit, he won't charm them. He'll only charm around them. If he hits 2 units, they'll actually both get charmed because they will, catch each other. Yeah, they'll catch each other in the AoEs. But it's just, I don't know why they did it like that. It's really dumb. It's
For the lore kids, let's go.
It's the same bloody flaw.
I will say one thing is interesting about this charge, and that is even though the whole idea of collaterals isn't new, this is probably I think this is the first charge that has a collateral effect. So we might be seeing more of that in the future. I'm excited for it.
Right. So the damage. His damage is actually pretty decent on the CS, especially because of the crit multiplier. At SA1 and 100% HP, so only 2 times multiplier from limit, he will deal 41,965 damage, which is pretty good. At 1 HP, so full power limit, he will deal 83,930. So he can deal pretty good damage and he can spam his CS pretty quickly. So that's nice to have. So honestly, Tigre's he's alright. He's kind of he's a gimmicky unit based around Torn, who's supposed to spam guts to hover around 1 HP, just do big damage. And he can do pretty big damage. He can do about 17k damage with.
I mean, he better as a blow unit. Jeez.
At 1 HP, yeah. His attack stat is actually kind of meh.
Just glad he has a limit starter turn along with guts. Like whenever I see I always like seeing kits that have both limit and guts. They know what they want. It really shows the kind of way you're supposed to play with them, and that is super aggressively and base tanking damage as much as possible, not being afraid of bottoming out your HP to 1. And I think that sort of gameplay is kind of risky and scary, but also kind of fun.
Yes. Not much. As far as ARs go, I only really found 2 super relevant ARs, which was Ark's AR, the Oath of Binding, because it gives prayer, and that further beefs up his guts proc rate to 90% while taunted.
Guaranteed for you eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll just get to the skill scene once I find more money. And also immunity to bind, which is nice to have. Everyone would like that. The Valentine's Dog AR with Tadatomo and Moritaka is nice as well because more
So you
guts.
just have one guaranteed guts. Well, it's not guaranteed for Valentine's Dog.
It's not guaranteed, but it's a different proc rate without him having to get hit. But also he gains CP on taking damage more, so that's nice. It's the lesser.
I forgot that was a feature. Didn't we discuss that was just so pitiful before, the amount of CP you get from it?
The main problem is that its base rate is 25%, which is poop.
Well, I'm sure we'll get a bit more against him since he also has taunt in this case.
None of the other ARs super synergize, although I guess you could always just equip the Oyama Onis with Shuten there for more CS damage. But that's a given. Want to do more damage. The last thing I'll say about Tigre is that if we ever get a unit who grants taunt to allies, which I can see us getting at some point, then they'll be probably good friends with Tigre.
Very good. They'll be quite broken.
They'll be able to refresh his taunt on demand.
They'll be working at peak level. It's like if Wifa trainer always had her deep breathing up or something.
interesting comparison.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I'd say he's not terrible. He's all right. Does a lot of damage and pretty survivable. But it's it's a gimmicky kit. It's interesting, but not something you would bring to everything.
Can't wait to see you find some clears with him.
I mean, if you want me to, I could try.
In her dirt stands rejoice.
In her jar. Anyway.
Okay. Any other comments from Irby? Pointing you out because I don't have comments myself.
I mean,
I don't have a lot of. I don't have a lot of comments regarding this kid. It's pretty. It's despite being a gimmick kid, it's very straightforward. You just punch things, get hit, survive. Yeah, it's very straightforward.
There's no like weird AoEs to talk about. There's not too much synergy to talk about except the taunt thing.
I love how you described it, Irby. Punch things, get hit, survive. Perfectly reflects Hombre Tigre's way being.
That's very much it.
Yes, that's exactly what his kit does. It's pretty like that.
But yeah, on the flip side, he's the 4th star and he has the best start on banner.
Truly the hero we deserve. Lucha Libre! Alright, please. Alright, speed the pounds.
Where were we?
I don't know. Good luck with that.
Amigo, or by Lulu, Amgia. Amigo time.
Very cool.
SM Tiger. Amigo Lulu. Gang up on Takamaru camp. Unsubscribe report. SM Amigo, as Hombres OVA would say. Lots of Amigo.
Amigo!
Why does everyone in this banner have charm? Theme, but also because they're all.
It's because
attractive.
the LifeWonders is getting progressively sluttier as the game goes. Eventually, all kids will have charm.
Yes, it's the summer bait. I'm surprised
They have
every unit in Fashionista had charm.
Yeah.
Only Suzuka had it, I think.
I can't.
And Saf, yeah, only Suzuka
Yeah,
and Saf had it.
I can't remember right now. But, oh my god, is
Sorry, I guess
Algernon...
Sabania's just not that charming.
Who?
Sabania.
That was that. Oh my god, is it Algernon break all over again? Yes, it is. It's the same stupid thing where Algernon can't break the units he's actually attacking, but only to the side. So dumb.
Yeah, hopefully the wiki will update for that. This was a limitation that has existed before then, and it has made us communicate some misinformation a number of times as a result. But
I mean,
now that
Erita did an update, that is, it makes it slightly clearer.
So next time, like the assets here actually have to manually update the HTML, but
yeah, this is a bit out of date because one of the wiki workers updated how the skills are passed, so it would say near enemy, not to enemy.
I don't really. I kind of want to change that, but whatever. After this stream.
It's a lot more understandable now.
Well, yeah, it now has a clear separation, so. But
I'll
obviously
go
there are things that are not working right now, but
it's just started. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, Charm is just the meta since late 2019.
Charm was never the meta. I'm sorry.
They always make it low proc rates, and then it's like everyone's immune to it anyways. Why would you ever use Charm? Jeez, it's annoying.
I swear to God, LifeWonders, why? Oh yeah, the break thing. Yeah, Algernon. No. Oto doesn't have charm because she charms herself. That is incorrect. She actually does charm her attacker. Whoever
We'll get
hits
to
her.
that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah,
so
we'll
I
get
guess.
to that. But she does not charm herself. They hot. Weird because you want him to get hit by enemies to build up that CS. Yeah. Charming just all the other enemies.
It's for the one-on-one.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's just for the one-on-one. But very charming units. Why not give them charm? I guess it's so that not too many units hit him. Yeah, I think that honestly Hombre doesn't care about that because of the cuts.
The charming part of Hombre is the battles he engages in, evidently.
Tigre very hot. Why wouldn't he have charm? I'll not read that out. He doesn't have a lot of health either. Yeah, but he doesn't really. Honestly, the faster that Tigre gets down to 1 HP for the max power limit, the better. So having lower HP is actually pretty good. Here's limit you want on low health. Yeah, limit plus guts, tasty. Yep. Skill. I want Amigo now. Oh god, no! I want a multi-flip. Don't know if you should do that, Luther. Sounds like a dangerous prospect.
I mean, you could just end up spending like 550 stones only, just like Erta did. No biggie.
Oh dear. Akenshi next ban and then you suffer. Yeah. What? Here's a question for you, Era. What is the name of the anime opening from the song from the game? By the way, isn't it Words Have Wings?
The song from the game? No, that's in-game music. I think he's talking about the anime opening thing, which I believe the title. I mean, where I got the title from is not very credible in itself. I believe I got the title from someone else's translation of it, and Dragonborn, I guess. You know, that one.
Thank you. No more Kenshi's dog summers are over. Why has there been so many Kenshi stuff this year? Because LifeWonders likes money.
Yeah.
Can't say Kenshi, no time to rest this day. Are there any ARs that aren't 5 stars that you can recommend? Yeah, the Oyama Oni's one for big damage. I guess the Hakenshi AR with Shino and Mori for CP up, because Hombre wants more CP for big CS, and I guess the Hephaestus one too, because that also gives CP.
Just hope 5-star ARs, easy.
Yeah.
You can also equip the Kagotushi one and Ikutoshi for the combo if you want to mess with him once.
Yeah, I don't know if you really want to do that.
I mean, even if you don't want to miss with him, he's bound to miss because of blow range.
Yeah,
True.
so, and then you can get, double CP on the next turn. Unless he kills them. But then he gets the overkill.
He still gets the overkill CP.
So that's decent. They know they print money. Yes, the Kens do print money. At least they're permanent. Yeah, I'm glad the I'm glad most of all the ARs are permanent, besides like some of the free ones. But then again, that means shit like the missionaries AR get into the 5-star pool and shit it up. Or no, what was the other AR from Jamboree that was really bad?
It was the Hot Springs one, the
Zabanian one?
Zabanian one?
Yeah, it was the missionaries one. The one that Arslan.
Yeah. I thought we were talking about the other one.
Yeah, that one.
We were already talking about the missionaries one.
There were 2 bad ones, or? Oh, I guess most of the 5-star ones aren't that impressive, but...
Well, the Hot Springs one with Zhao and Cherno is okay. The missionaries one, blessing on here, so dumb.
We don't talk about
The Bale synergy.
It was the game telling me to save for the AR where Zabania has the actual icon. Yes.
Even though you spent a lot of money on it anyways, or at least a lot of stones.
I didn't spend money on Jamboree.
Okay. Good.
I like the separation between self-targets and enemy targets, but it could be better worded on the thing. On the wiki.
On the wiki? Yeah, I'll get to rewording it eventually, maybe. I'm tired.
Sorry, I'm skipping through a lot of the comments, but this is already taking so long. It's already been an hour and we still have so many to do.
True.
She doesn't literally charm herself. Just put her in the back. Just pull 5-star AR. Sorry, I'll wail harder. Yeah, Zaba Arslan AR. Okay. We should move along because, oh my god, this is going to take like 3 hours at this rate.
It's okay, the next unit is very fast.
Who is it?
It's Algernon, whose kit is so small that it kind of looks like a first-gen unit, almost. Alright, please, Irby, let us take a breath of fresh air with this unit, Algernon.
Yeah. Okay, Algernon is very simple and straightforward. A lot more straightforward than Tigre, actually. Basically, he on phase start, he gains attack up, acceleration, and 20 CP just right off the bat. but loses also 800 HP, which isn't really a big deal at all. Adding to that, he also applies Dazzle and Charm on hit. Charm at a pretty low rate, but it's whatever. You're not gonna rely on him for the charm. You're going to pretty much use him for either the damage paired up with other attack buffers, because his damage isn't really that high with just attack up, at least.
Yeah, it seems like your damage is
he's basically a very selfish damage dealer that is meant to charge very fast and unleashes CS, and also gain CP with that, only to get another charge, etc., etc.
I mean, how fast can you actually go with charge?
You can actually gain. Equipped with the right AR, you can actually gain about 73 CP per turn.
Wow.
If it's the first turn.
What AR are you thinking of?
Probably single.
Actually, sorry, we're skipping ahead a lot. We'll get to it. Sorry.
I'm counting everything, but I'd better explain the rest.
Yeah.
The most unique thing he actually has on this kit is the ability to deal fixed damage in a wide range at phase start, which is actually not as bad as it looks, to be honest. Most of the times you would need fixed damage, it is right at the start of the phase, and I think it's actually a pretty high amount to be at least considered, because this would be really useful against that Shiro phase with the bunch of tenacity and defense buffs.
Yes, it would.
It basically remove most of the HP of all the enemies there without suffering the consequences and just wiping them out with a single attack.
Also, whenever LifeWonders decides, whichever decade they decide to release large bosses again, this could be quite powerful.
Yeah, it is a lot of damage.
Like 5,000 for the middle squares, and then for each middle square, and then 3,000 for the side squares.
LifeWonders knows that the fixed damage is the future. You gotta get ready for it.
God damn it.
Okay. He is also immune to break. I don't know why, because he doesn't require movement at all on his kit, so it's just there, I guess.
A lore kit strikes again.
It's just there, but
I guess because he's some time man or something. I think.
Yeah, probably. He's supposed to be a very fast time man, I guess.
Teleports behind that.
Nothing.
Teleports behind you. And he also gains tenacity before getting hit at 60%, which is honestly, It's pretty good to help him survive, considering he has Dazzle on attack on a wide range, because he's magic range, and also tenacity, so that'll help him keep himself healthy, at least, most of the times. And his charge is basically just, he gets limit and gains CP for every enemy hit, which is okay, I guess. It just helps him build CP. He just really wants to get that CS out, even though if he keeps CSing, he's just not going to be able to apply that Dazzle, which could be actually potentially useful, but that's pretty much what he does. He's a pretty selfish damage dealer that doesn't even deal that much damage per square.
Unless you have his charge, which is...
I forgot to calculate his charge damage.
It's like 5k, I think.
Per square?
Around the 5k per square, yes.
On
5
charge?
or 6k.
On charge?
Yes.
That's it?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Wait, really?
So that's 10k.
If you are at 100% health, that is.
Oh, right, because limit at level 1 doesn't actually do anything.
Yes, limit doesn't do anything at level 1.
So it's only 10k damage per square? Really? Fucking Anvari does more than that when he has concentration up on regular attack stack.
But
his 9.5.
His high attack stat is worth noting, because he actually has a very high attack stat for a 4-star, so that's why I recommend pairing him up with an actual attack buffer, since he only has access to one damage increasing buff. which is attack up. I'm not counting limit because you'd actually need to get his
SA quite up.
SA quite up or his HP quite low to take advantage of this. And yeah, he's pretty much served as.
I can just realize, just like his regular had this too, but like, he doesn't have guts.
Yeah,
he doesn't have guts.
I hate kids that have limit but don't have guts. It's like, why would he do this?
Unlike
I was going
regular version, he doesn't have he doesn't even have limit on his.
Yeah, but he also doesn't drain his HP as often because it's only on phase start.
Yeah.
I was going to recommend ARs with guts, but really I don't really think that is the point of using him at all because he doesn't. I don't.
You don't think limit's the main draw?
Yeah, his limit is. I don't think limit is the main draw of his kit. So I think it's the high attack really and the fast charge. And the fixed damage meta and the damage generation.
But the point of his charge is so it's like the point of his charge is to get it fast, but not to actually exploit limit from the charge.
Yes. Limit in charge is very bad.
I mean, he does more damage than his bloody basic attack, which is 3,181.
Yeah.
If he has attack up and attacks normally, that's all he'll do.
Yeah. That's why I kind of recommend the leaked AR with Benten and Kuniyoshi because it gives him an additional 10 CP on phase start and also allows him to exploit the Dazzle Inflicts, I guess, on the later turn because it's after attacking. It's after attacking. So
wait, Dazzle is after. Why would they do that?
Yes. So you can actually exploit it immediately. You have to either get combo or wait for the next turn to exploit it. But basically, that's the gist of it. I also recommended the Single Bulls Club and the Kangaroo AR for the CS multiplier increase, and also because the Single Bulls Club he also has access to tenacity at a fairly standard rate and also limit. He's going to be charging a lot, so he's going to get that limit up a lot, I guess. So that could help him get his CS up even faster again. I guess I don't know. I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot to say about this unit. He's
probably a boring unit on the
He can mitigate
damage. He is very boring because the most attractive feature of his kit is the
don't say it.
flat damage.
Oh my god.
But it's true. I also recommended the Anniversary AR because if you're really skeptical about those 800 HP, because I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh my god, he drinks HP per phase start." Disgusting, worthless. If you're really worried about that, you can just equip the CR and it's over. It doesn't matter anymore. You no longer lose his HP on phase start. If you're worried about that.
Well, it cancels it. What's it called? It cancels it if you're already at like negative 800, but it's like I'm pretty sure you would still have negative 800 from your max at the beginning of phase start because AR effects apply before phase start effects from the kit.
Yeah, true.
Great.
True, but
such a
this is
tiny deal. It doesn't even matter.
This is just to ease people's fears. There are ways to recover HP through ARs.
The only thing I can think of is some guy spent 550 stones on this unit.
I'm sorry, Eric.
I'm sure he'll be much better on when he gets his skill evolution in 2 years.
Oh my god, someone honking that horn outside.
McMahon, let's go. Dazzle and Charm would be useful, I guess, but it's kind of funny you're just focusing on the damage, which... Who cares about Dazzle and Charm, apparently?
Yeah, the 30% rate, I said before, but it's pretty standard. Beach Typhon and Beach Yankee are 40%, Alp is 20, Aegir is 30. Or is it Christmas Aegir is 30, rather?
If I had this unit, I probably would have focused on a Dazzle and Charm, but that's just like, I don't know. It could have gone either way.
It's not. I don't think it's actually that notable, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of units that get those that can get that Dazzle, and the Charm is very, very low rate for its kind at least.
Yeah.
In comparison to most recent units.
Yeah, B Typhon can do a 40% rate, and like we just said, Tigre can do it at 40%. I mean, I guess the most important thing is that Algernon can do it with initiative, so he can hit first. But
He's a pretty selfish unit, but he also requires a lot of help to get him to work properly.
yeah, but at that point, you might as well just use someone else.
Yes, true.
Okay, anyways. The only reason... Well, the one thing I would say is, yeah, even though I'm loath to admit it, his most notable feature relay is the flat damage thing.
Maybe he'll be good for coin dailies.
And it's neat because like it's slightly larger than 3x3, it's 3x4, so you can place him behind the front row too.
It's not actually really that efficient to use for coin dailies because he deals with CC too fast. Yes.
Great.
So
Shameful.
you'd be wasting a lot of time.
Shameful. Absolutely disgusting.
But it can be useful to some flat damage challenge quest clears that I am already thinking about and big braining right now.
Watch out,
face
Roll.
damage
Arby's gonna flip over the Housamo roll with his flat damage.
Maybe if they do another quest like that Goemon one with the waves that had like no HP but constant evasion.
Yeah. Or they do more stuff like the evils and Shiro.
Spam defense buffs.
Spam defense buffs and before getting hit, get attack drops.
Ooh.
Never forgetting that corporate card exists. But okay. That's
Corporate card exists, but Algernon can deal more damage in a straight line.
I guess. Just combine them, I guess.
You can also use both, yes.
Alright, I think we have milked the scene out enough. There's not much to talk about, so please, Irby, let's... what do you rate the comments?
Where do you left off?
Zab Arslan AR.
Damn, that was very far away.
I don't even see it. What?
Okay, I see it. Luther says, gotta go fast. Yeah, he is a pretty fast unit. Alright. Mandolin robot time. The rest of the banner at Algernon. Haha, how is your kit that small? Yeah, true. He has probably the smallest kit. The flat damage is pretty meh. Don't you dare say something like that.
The most interesting part of the kit.
It's the most interesting part of the kit. Shisai, I don't know what that means. Like that buff, that fixed damage. I don't understand the question. I'm sorry. I thought Housamo units were supposed to be 1,000-word essays, not haikus.
Go back and read the Gen 1 kits. Like 4 sentences.
Yeah. The only thing is that you'd want to position them in the middle lane before the next phase starts for it to become as effective as possible. Flat damage, I mean, yes, because it's not it's not like full board or anything, or it's not as wide as Dead's, even though it covers more on the furthest squares. It covers less on horizontally, that is. You're finding out how bad Algernon is. No, he isn't that bad.
Don't say that. It's not true, because if it's true, then you'll hurt Eric's feelings.
Wish Algernon lost health consistently for that limit instead of just phase start. If he did that, he'd die because he doesn't have guts anymore. Wish they went more meme with time. Yeah, they could have done a lot more, but I guess they just wanted... the thing about it is that they wanted to reinforce, they wanted to get those 100% ratios because he's supposed to be this super efficient cyborg man or something, so they wanted to make a really efficient kit with 100% rates.
But like half of them are.
But then they realized that 100% rates are not allowed anymore. This is Housamo 2020. So you're going to get botched.
I'm actually surprised that there's nothing that says for like a 90% here.
The funny thing is that his CS is even has a trash can. Pensive.
Does it?
Yes, a trash can appears on his CS because he's a cleaner.
Alright, sweeper. The sweeper.
The sweeper.
Put himself in the trash can.
Pensive. That's risky. Doesn't his regular 4 do that? It does. Yeah, it's an after buff thing. I think.
I've seen gameplay of regular 4 after the SpEvo, and I gotta say, I think his regular 4 seems stronger than his variant here.
It is.
It is.
There you go, 2020, variants that are weaker than regulars happening all over again. And so the cycle continues.
At least it's not as bad as Takemaru's case, in my opinion. At least.
Oh, fucking Takemaru. Here we go, shitting on him again.
Phase start, apply countdown to self. Yes, please. Limit memes, live fast, die young. Honestly, Tigre should have started with phase start countdown for that risky synergy with limit.
That would have been cool, actually.
Yeah.
Full power from turn 1.
Yeah. STG, if you keep switching between the chart and unit page, I'm going to lose my mind. Did you really switch that many times between the two?
I wasn't paying attention.
Well, I wasn't sure which one to focus on at the time, but I didn't switch that many times.
Gawi says, when leaving 20k to all enemies. When leaving. Disgusting. I vomit.
Kasuga does something, doesn't he?
Yes, it's Kasuga, I think. It's disgusting. You never want a unit to fucking leave.
Just after all this time, there still hasn't been like a.
I've been playing around that for a while now because I decided I should really stop gimping myself further for my challenge clears.
Pensive.
It's already hard enough.
If you're on the strategizer now, maybe you should consider using units like Husamo or Valentine's Barghest or stuff like that. I actually did see a clear of the challenge quest 2 from FKari using what's called a fucking Barghest's guts on lead 2 so that they could get a few more turns to defeat Jormungandr. So it works. Some people find use for it.
I don't know what Dazzle does. My units somehow ignored it. Drops the attack.
Yeah, that's all it does.
It doesn't do anything with how your units interact with it. Rather, it mitigates or like attenuates the damage that they give to you.
Yeah, it's a few units are immune to it, so.
Irby with his big brain flat damage meta. It's true. The flat damage meta is the future. I'm going to keep proving this. I'm going to keep spreading the word. Also sweeping memes. I heard someone said Arslan and Zara AR. It's pretty trash.
We didn't say
Send
that.
him to the crafter, exist. My god. What?
Oh, we were just saying the Zaba card doesn't exist. There's no Zaba card. What are you talking about?
It does not.
It doesn't exist because it's not in my inventory. Most interesting part of the kit. I think you mean the only part of the kit. True.
I mean,
Rest in peace.
Dazzlebot is the thing.
Yeah, instead of using Alice, you can use Algernon.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a kit that is literally just focused on flat damage?
Yes, I mean, Korapaka.
I mean, he has freeze,
already exists.
Innovation, and CP up there. I don't know.
Look at that kit. It's so pretty with that skill evolution. 8,000 damage every 2 turns.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Like, I thought it was like only pretty good before, but then he did that whole challenge quest video with him and like Necros, and yeah, I'm a believer of his utility.
Believe in the utility of the fixed damage meta. Guys, it's okay. His kit is bad, but it's lore relevant. It's true. Yeah. As time goes on, Algernon will get worse, just like his intelligence.
Wow.
That's actually true. That's actually pretty true. The second variant will just have one line per
that's so bad. So sad.
The truth hurts, unfortunately. I'm picking my guillotine right now. Hidden says, "Oh shoot, did I lose Tigre's segment?" Yes, you did. It was right before this one.
Yeah. It was pretty fun to talk about.
Imagine having both Takemaru's.
I think this was funnier.
It was difficult to talk about. I don't know.
Imagine using Christmas Takemaru at all.
I use
When
them.
leave-
He's just, I don't know, it's very forced if you decide to use him.
When leaving, Meto will be real. Just you read. Oh,
Yeah.
day-
makes me
one
have
day
fun
let-
about in your backline.
I'd
have
like to see
Kyuma,
it
that's it.
eventually. Kima's the only one who does that somewhat well, like at all. Others are just like guts and healing, which kind of revives, I guess, but I don't know. I feel like
Imagine
they're what
a
we
unit
are.
that swap with a sword. No.
I don't know how you would control that.
Yeah, it wouldn't be something.
That'd be like entirely new update would have to be added for that.
Yeah,
It
it
also-
could be interesting, but it depend on the kill, obviously.
It would make units that are useless on support be able to switch to the leader position to be useful on support because they switch position with the leader, I guess.
Yeah, that's
I actually forgot Valenbarg has a leaving skill.
Wow,
Archie,
Archie forgetting. the important
already
details.
forgetting Vargas' kid after getting Shennong.
Wow, I see.
Truly.
Moving on already. First it was Daisuke, and now it's Vargas. You see how it is. Do not
Rest in
trust this
peace,
man.
Vargas.
Do not trust this man. He will take your heart and then break it. You are nothing but just a toy to him.
Let's move on because there's a lot of comments yet. Combo, but instead of hitting consecutively, they hit again after the support unit.
That's too big brain. Moving on.
Again,
Yeah,
they would need to do a big update for that.
I like
don't
that
trust it not to break it.
I like that crit plus buff when Necro used his CP attack. Yes, it is very interesting, even though I think the primary focus on that CS was probably the curse. Maybe, I don't know.
They should know. They should know that.
Why use Christmas Takemaru when you can use Christmas Melusine? Disgusting. You either
No.
pick which
Oh my
garbage
gosh.
can you want to pick.
But Christmas units really suck, don't they? It's all about Christmas Ryota.
It's gonna happen, guys. Like, in my fucking grab bag pull, I got Christmas units. Remember when I got those Daichi units, and then we got nothing but amazing Daichi units and Daichi evolutions? Well, this year we're gonna have amazing Christmas Evos and Christmas units. Just watch.
I mean, we already had amazing Christmas units last Christmas with Christmas C3 and A-Gear.
I barely pulled on that banner.
Yeah, they are pretty good. I
Yeah.
want the kitty of this banner. What
Oh.
kitty?
Hombre Tigre.
Tigre.
Oh, Tigre. Yes.
I guess that's technically correct.
Yeah. Luther is saying he's moved
Very
to
nice
Shen.
plump pussy.
He'll forget Shen in a month. Archie already infamous for changing those bundles like underwear. Archie's a player. I guess that's true. You heard it here.
Okay. Now the world
And-
knows. Now Archie, the world will be safe from Archie's advances. Speaking of advances, we should move on to the next unit.
Yeah.
Alright.
Spent too much time on a pretty simple unit.
Yeah, what the
on
hell?
exposing Archie's misgivings. Okay, so the next unit we'll talk about, or that I'll be talking about, is Shennong, who, holy crap, I didn't rehearse this. He is a poison exploiter, which means to say that everything around his functionality revolves around poison. If that was if that wasn't obvious enough from his regulars, that's the same here too. Except now he has the unique feature of being able to inflict stackable fatal poisons. So, in addition to being able to do the usual poison and poison reversal, which is on phase start, although at slightly different ranges, he is now also able to inflict to the enemy fatal poison, a stackable version. Now, mind you, these aren't stackable on the same turn. Rather, they're considered different versions, so that's how LifeWonders has implemented stacking in general. So you can't stack more than one on a single turn. However, across 5 turns, you'll be able to have 5 total stacks, which in total, even if it is 5 whole stacks of fatal poison, it's not doing too much. It's doing 1.2 to 2.2k flat damage, which is like, but the real reason why you care about it is because he also has an advantage against poison and fatal poison. So he has a 200% advantage against a poison and a 1.4 advantage against each stack of fatal poison, and that can amount to the numbers listed in this summary here. So for his regular attack, if you happen to have a full stack, which might take a while to build up, then you'll be doing 16k damage per square. And if it's his charge attack, then you'd be doing 20k damage per square. If you happen to have poison reversal, it does a bit more than that, just twice as much. And that's a respectable amount for wide long slash as well as all range for his charge. And for his charge, even though the wiki says something else, or at least it did last time I checked, the fatal poisons, all 5 different stacks are applied at the same time on his charge, so he's able to fully enjoy the full advantage of all 1.4 times multipliers. Interesting enough, though, poison is not applied on that, so you may or may not have a poison advantage up for that particular case. Besides his poison exploitation, he also has some other features related to building his charge a bit faster when he receives damage, with arousal and acceleration. Arousal giving 10 CP and per turn, and for 1 turn, and acceleration giving, I believe, 8 over 3 turns. Sorry, 8 per turn over 3 turns. Yeah, and that's like an okay amount. That's his only real way of building charge. You'll just be hitting a lot of units in general with long slash, but still the CP bonus is also reduced to that. So you might want to pair him up with another CP battery if you want to exploit 40k damage per square from his charge, which, by the way, it's a very nice value, and it's important to note that that's just completely self-sufficient. There's no additional buffs to that. So it's worth building in, perhaps pairing with someone like she who will not be named. And in addition to his poison exploitation, well, yeah, we won't name her.
I was actually about to say that we almost went the whole stream without saying her name so far.
Yes, it's forbidden word. It's taboo.
We won't say her name. Say her name, and then she'll come visit you tonight and say kawaii, and then that's the last thing I'll hear.
That'll be picture.
And so she's also a decent damage mitigator, just like what's his face was, Algernon. Even though we didn't talk about that at all, just like Algernon, he can inflict charm and dazzle within a diamond radius after he attacks. So it's a bit confusing, but it's not relative to the enemy's position, it's relative to where Shennong himself is. Once he attacks, anyone near him within like slash range plus source range will have a chance of being infected by dazzle and charm.
It's really stupid.
Yeah, I mean, if it was relative to where it was, that'd be quite an insane range. But it's, yeah, thank goodness the wiki's being having better parsing now. I will get to Otohime eventually. So he's also a facilitator, which, you know, is a term I like to use to say like the opposite of disruptor. So he's not, in addition to being a damage dealer, he's also someone that just helps the units around him function better. He does it by removing 2 buffs at phase start, although one of those is probably just reserved just for his own poison he inflicts on his allies, so that he can reset the poison duration. Because, you know, if he inflicted poison even though poison is already up and there's only 1 turn left in poison, then that means after that turn there'll just be 4 turns without being able to use poison reversal. And because of this removal, he's able to exploit at least 5 full turns of poison reversal for himself as well as his team, which is nice. If you don't recall, poison reversal, I believe, increases damage by 2 times and reduces incoming damage by like 0.65 times or something, I forget. But it's just like a nice 2-way buff for both damage amplification and damage attenuation. And in addition to that, kind of a small feature, but it's also pretty nice, is being a healer that can heal 1 square away. 400 HP, which is somewhat respectable, especially since he can also inflict a dazzle and poison reversal to sort of rescale the damage to make 400 HP relatively much larger to the actual damage being done. So, with that said, I think he has slightly more. I guess he still has general use. Holy crap! You'd want to bring him if you just want to heal, as well as what? Wait, crap. These notes down here don't even make sense. Sorry about that. This I added last second. Yeah. So the one situation you want to avoid, I guess, is just like with regular Shennong. Make sure you don't bring anyone to or some sort of strategy where you use Reflect and Nullify debuff, because that will just completely cancel out his poison and poison reversal, which is obviously not something you want.
Bring Jamboree Eisen.
Yeah.
That would completely ruin Shennong's kit.
Just don't do that. So Shennong again is kind of just standing out there because he works well, but he also works because of in a reversal kind of context, which means that other units that go try to work against that are bounded and can reduce its effectiveness by quite a bit. The ARs I recommend to go with him is the pulling AR yet again, because literally every unit would benefit from that, and being able to charm and dazzle units would be neat, and being able to inflict more fatal poison stacks would also be neat. Also, something else that can would go with him is the Kamata card with both the Kurogane and Amatsumara, which you'll get increasing stacks of damage as well, which kind of thematic related to the increasing stacks of fatal poison and poison advantage. And lastly, the Tomio card, which will allow you to get advantage against dazzle as well. And unlike Varga, he can actually inflict dazzle, I believe, on attack. No, never mind, it's post strike. Why are these units always post strike? But yeah, those are all my thoughts on the unit. You guys have anything to add on that?
Yes, I do, but does Abby have anything to say first? Because I have a long-winded thing.
I don't have a lot to say. Shennong does pretty much almost everything, to be honest.
Yeah,
he's pretty good for general use, and he's actually not really too hard to use because he doesn't require any sort of movement. You can just put him anywhere, and he's just going to deal a lot of damage assuming he's in range, and he's just going to charge his CP very fast and just explode with everything. There's not much to say. He works very well with pretty much almost anyone.
Yeah, just like Hephaestus, they have good general purpose use.
But do you know who he works very well with? It's my turn. Something that
I forgot to mention this, but Zalgus, go ahead.
I want to say something that they added in a hotfix. Apparently, Oba, you say they added the
they added that starter thing.
Yes, maybe also Volos, but I wasn't paying attention to that. But because they added these 5 new fatal poison stacks, which are completely separate from the regular fatal poison, Astarte, who has Astarte and Astaroth, because both their rarities have it, gained advantage against every single stack of fatal poison. And so I'll just talk about Astarte 4 because she's more of the strong attacker. But so for every stack of fatal poison that Shennong gives, she will deal 2 times damage. So I did some calculations, and it's pretty ridiculous. If we assume that 4-star Astarte procs her weakness and attack up, and she inflicts her own fatal poison, and Shennong has already inflicted fatal poison stack 1 and poison, then she would deal 58,609 damage with just a regular attack, which is pretty ridiculous because that's just with 1 hit from Shennong and 1 hit from Astarte. And let's say they had all the stacks from Shennong from his CS and poison, and same conditions as before, she would deal 93,700. Wait, no, 937,746 damage. I don't know if I typoed that. Actually, no, I did not typo that. Yes, per square.
So
now, if you CS with Astarte after Shennong applies every poison stat, you'll deal over 1 million damage. And there's other stuff to consider, like I didn't even count Shennong's poison reversal, but the idea is that Astarte does a absolute truckload of damage combined with Shennong, even with just 1 stack of poison and fatal poison. It's pretty ridiculous. There's there's something I didn't realize because I didn't look at it earlier, but Volos, Beach Volos, who has advantage against like every single debuff in the game, also benefits from this. Yeah, he gains a 150 multiplier for each stack. So he's not quite as much of a ridiculous attacker as Astaroth is, but it's still there.
Yeah, if we get more stackable debuffs, Volus' power will increase proportionally, and it's kind of too late to reverse what has been done with Astarte. She will now forever remain one of the most powerful units because of this. You hear that, Archie? Make sure, since you got Shennong and you burned so much stones and tickets, make sure to pair him up with Astarte.
I mean,
yeah.
How synergetic can that possibly be, considering Shennong is most likely going to clear the whole board anyway?
Yeah, he's gonna kill everything anyway, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's about the big numbers, Obi.
Yes, I must think of that.
But yeah, so Volos, Beach Volos, Astaroth, and Astarte all have pretty good synergy with Shennong. I just realized Volos also gains advantage against all the burn stacks.
Oh yeah, well, no one can inflict stackable burn yet. It was just an enemy only thing, I'm pretty sure, at this point, right?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's all I have to say. Astaroth cool. Astaroth and Astarte cool.
Really?
And they did it on purpose, like I said, because we said it was a hotfix, so they explicitly added it.
But for some reason, they didn't hotfix the Dark Lord's AR. So.
Yeah, so you won't be immune to all the beetle stack poisons, only the regular one. Which is a bit silly. Hopefully that'll be fixed eventually.
Yeah, they eventually changed the burn one, but I don't know if they will change the Dark Lord one because it was free, and they don't want to give that kind of power to players.
I don't know. I mean, they eventually They eventually fixed the key rune, but it was too little too late by that point, so...
CP or a HP minus 20, was it?
So stupid. Okay.
It was 50, I think.
I will go read up the comments now. It was 50 indeed. Where was I even?
Great.
Tell me what I have to control of.
Archie's a player. With an A, not an ER.
Archie.
Well, Archie is a player.
Shouldn't have trusted him at all. I'm actually currently building and retexting Shen during this stream. Cool. That must... Maybe by the end of it, you'll be halfway done.
Yeah, it takes a bit forever.
Poison unit again. Well, it was... Who was the previous poison unit? Wasn't it just Shennong again? Or was there another?
Shennong. It was Shennong.
Yeah, okay. And that's an essay indeed. Entire thesis. No, those are just my raw notes, which I barely had time to shorten because I finished those notes like maybe 20 minutes before stream because I don't have enough time. I fell asleep. I was celebrating. I couldn't even celebrate. I was just eating food that my family gave me because I recently graduated that team about the boot camp, and then I had like stomach issues after that. So I don't know. Digression. Let's move on. Poison me, baby. Only if you got poison reversal already. The word of poison appears 20 times on this kit. Did you control F that? Poison matter will be realized. I mean, Astarte exists, so yeah, pretty much. Make shot every time they say poison. We didn't say it that often, did we? Is this the first unit where their core damage and focus comes from their status bonus instead of buffs? Actually, maybe. I mean, Astarte was pretty close in terms of having massive advantage as well. But this is the first time we have a stackable case of advantage that we can actually exploit. None of this unobtainable burn shit. Shennong is a snake or something. He is both in the heck snake.
Snake.
Are you thinking like Azazel or something?
He's talking about all the poison.
Oh. I'm sure he's a fan of like snake venom on his free time. I know there's Summer Bolus, but it's kind of less of a focus and compared to Shen. Yeah, isn't the multiplier like less or something?
Yeah, it's only 150% for every bar.
Disgusting. Yeah, there's another one, but I think there's another enemy that Shen's pose is almost exactly like Bacchus' one. Now that you mention it, he kind of reminds me more of Orcus actually. Unless that you mean that's what you meant, because there is no back support. Long slash attacks 5 blocks. Yes, it does. And they really do on no heart. I forgot that heal buff from Shennong. Oh yeah, I forgot that it's heal. Like the heal from Poison Reversal is like respectable, but
it just cancels out poison, and
Yeah.
a bit more. But
a bit more. Oh crap! I lost my part. Equal controller plus you got there, Shannon. Yeah, I guess.
kind of feels like that.
Art for the Spinner has been awesome, and Shannon is not an exception. I kind of what's my favorite art for the Spinner? Definitely Otohime, which we'll talk about soon. Well, Tigre is just like very detailed and like notable bulge, so I can't complain.
Army shading.
Ara DM me this chart on Discord. Sure. After I edited, I made a mistake in the when to bring section. That was stuff from Keyman, which hidden erased. Shh. Oh my god, Fatal Poison again. Thankfully, Fatal Poison is actually becoming relevant, and the way they made it relevant was making it stackable. But this seems to imply that they won't make a stackable version of Poison, unfortunately, just Fatal Poison. Oh well. They cried on some kind of big quest, right? It just starts to become an even better welfare unit. Yeah, wasn't she like already like one of the best, if not still the best welfare unit?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
She's still the best. She was
And now Shennong exists just to make it more ridiculous. Well, you heard it here, folks. Actually, did he pull Shennong, Salgus?
No.
I feel like he should, since you're always like clamoring of how great Astaros is.
I don't have the resources for that. Besides, I already got Tigre on both accounts, so I'm not wasting my single tickets and 5 pole stones.
I guess you can just use Archie's Shennong, Just make sure he doesn't try to like swoon you over. He's a player.
Yes, but he goes first, or he goes last then, which is so unless I
put Astarte on the sub-slots.
I mean, I could. I just need to put like a
level 1 slime.
Yeah.
I mean, poison lasts a long time. It's 5 turns. Like the longest lasting buffs last 4 turns. So
yeah, but I can't take advantage of it on the first at the same turn.
Guess you gotta pull for Shennong then.
No.
Okay. Like the one I saw with Vargas and Cherno. Looking forward to that. Saw Ring Shino summon the AIC. But yeah. It was. Did we like change the server icon like last possible second?
Yeah.
Only because you asked me to.
Yeah. That feel when the Tomoyo fan is the one who asked to replace the Tomoyo icon with Shino. Shino-san, like long slash Shino, I only know Suzuka. I mean, she's alright with her still equip, although after crit and all that. Equip her with the pulling card, just like any other slash units. Surtur, Kenta, Banfenrir. Surtur 5-star. I still don't really have much to say about him because I never really played with him. He seems okay as a defensive unit, even if he's infernal. Bound Kenta, good for crit and brawn and the attack up. Banfenrir, Blind Beam. Guillemot 5, some of my favorite slash unit, but wide slash unit, but it's the only white slash unit I really use. Shennong might be someone who would overtake that if I actually had him. Unfortunately, I didn't get him. It's not that lucky. I don't remember any others. The mob mates, I think. Yeah, they can be pretty useful, but not because of their range. Setsubin and Oniwaka has Venom on. Sorry?
Made debuff cleanse.
Yeah, pretty much why you'd use them. But not really for the range. Setsuban, Oniwaka, and Yasu. That is correct.
I mean, I would have used Agyo instead, but I was doing a theme for that for some reason.
Teams. Alright. I think we are done talking about this unit, unless anyone has any lingering thoughts they want to add.
No.
Nope.
Alright, let's go on as we approach the second Arrow discussion of Otohime. If you will, Zalgus.
Sure, if you could take it off of Shennong's page, please.
I have. It's just, I guess, slow.
Otohime, she's the new unit on Banner, and she's got a pretty simple kit, but it works very well. So at both 3 and 4 star, she's supposed to be a long range cannon. She's not really glass, I wouldn't say, but she does a fuck ton of damage. 3 star is shot range, and her 4 star is snipe range. At both rarities, she gains attack up on face start 100%, and she gains crit plus. She gains crit at 70% rate at 3-star and crit plus at 90% rate on 4-star. Now her attack stat is actually kind of poop on her 3-star, which is a shame, and her 4-star attack stat is actually really quite high, one of the highest in the 4-star bracket. But even with her lower attack stat in her 3-star, she still does quite a respectable amount of damage. If she procs crit, she will deal at 3-star. If she procs crit, she will deal 11,489 damage per tile. If she has attack up still, so that's actually quite high. Especially because those two buffs are fairly rare. I mean, attack has become less rare as of recent, but it's still one of the rarer buffs. So even at 3-star, she's really good at dealing lots of damage. This is a good opportunity to talk about her CS actually, because it's pretty much the same functionality. So her 3-star CS gives her crit plus and changes her to snipe range. Now, the problem with the CS is actually that because you lose out on your level 100's crit in exchange for a level 1 crit plus if you're at SA1 and snipe range, you actually lose damage at SA1. You deal 8,297 damage at snipe range.
I mean, you get guaranteed double luck at least.
Yeah.
And it's snipe range, so you don't have to be as like.
And the crit plus is guaranteed too, whereas the crit isn't guaranteed.
You would need at least SA level 5 to surpass the damage from her regular shots, at which point it would be 11,757 damage at snipe range. But that's a minor thing. But anyway, so even at her 3-star, she's good at dealing lots of damage. I may as well talk about the other two parts of her kit before I do calculations for 4-star. So she has the same ability as Algernon because she's also a robot cyborg thing. She's probably just a robot. She has Mecha Man, so tenacity when struck. So something in both kits is that whenever she gets hit at 100% rate, she will change to weapon type none. This prevents her from attacking for 2 turns. Well, functionally 2 turns, 3 turns, but the countdown will go down by 1 when it becomes your turn again. So basically only 2 turns.
That was, I guess, what I was joking about. She kind of charms herself, but not really.
Yeah, kind of. She also charms the person who's hitting her, or anyone who hits her, specifically who hits her, not like Tigre, who charms around, just who's hitting her. It's at a 50% rate, which is, above average. So she's not completely defenseless when things start hitting her. Alright, she also applies double lock to things hit, which is pretty nice because double lock's still pretty rare, and even though it's only 50%, and it doesn't last as long as, say, skill lock is still a skill binding ailment, which is always useful, and it's when attacking, so she can gain the benefits as she's attacking, depending on the enemy skill sets.
Otohime plus Benten plus Arachne.
Yeah, I'll get that. Something else is actually also dispels rage plus charm and fear from herself, which is supposed to be thematic, probably because it's. I believe the translation for that is like motion control AI. So, since she's like a robot, she's very controlled. It's the rage and rage plus are completely whatever because the only person who can inflict that is Nightmare Durga. The charm and fear are nice though.
Like a knife.
Well, honestly, the charm doesn't matter because if she gets hit. There are other ways to proc charm besides getting hit, but anyway, immunity is nice to have. So her 4-star, it does a lot of damage. So it's snipe range at base, but it has a ridiculously high attack stat compared to her 3-star, which kind of had a low attack stat and gains crit plus instead at a very reliable rate of 90%. Where are my calculations? Right. So, if Otohime has attack up and crit plus, she will deal 14,308 damage at snipe range, which is quite frankly ridiculous. And her CS gives a crit plus instead. of crit plus.
Sorry, how much damage did you say it was?
If she has crit plus and attack up with a regular attack, she will deal 14,308 damage.
Why do they always have to make fucking snipe units like compensate so hard? Jesus Christ! Does snipe penalty mean nothing to Housamo anymore? They're just like, oh wow, what a late penalty. Let's just give them a bunch of buffs. Then why did he even give them that late penalty in the first place? Jeez.
So at SA1, Otohime 4-star deals 25,755 damage. So she doesn't have the same problem that that 3-star has, where she loses damage because she doesn't change her weapon type. So she doesn't change the multiplier, and the CS multiplier is higher. Both CSs inflict double lock at 100% rate, which is nice as well, because double locks is always nice to have. And that's pretty much it. There's not much to talk about Otohime. She just hits really hard, and if she gets hit, she stops hitting hard, but she has a few defenses to help her out. One of the higher charm rates. As for ARs, alright, actually, something interesting to note is that if she gets hit by someone and changes to weapon type none, and she charms them at the same time, she actually gets the initiative, because they both last 3 turns. Well, 2 turns. For the duration of Otohime's weapon change, she can't be attacked by whoever attacked her, which is neat. They're timed correctly, so she'll get the first shot.
I see you're planning how to time yourself around that was your next for you to clear.
So ARs, so they have different weapon types. So a 3-star can benefit from, since she's shot type, she can benefit from shooting stars for the evasion piercing, and combo. That still gives combo, right?
Yes, it gives combo. Yes.
Yeah, she can get that too for a slight attack buff as well, and I guess more chance to get crit, since 70% isn't 100% reliable, obviously. A 4-star can't take shooting stars because snipe. She can use the Ose Kotaro 1 mission complete for further buff stacking, because she gets crit from that. Or can get crit. It's a bit of low chance, but oh well. She also gets a bit of defense versus shot and snipe, which are the guys who are actually likely to hit her, since they can match her range. And if you just want more damage, you can take like Oyama Onis with the shoot 10 for more CS multiplier.
It's nice what she does. It's rare to have a. Sorry, go ahead.
If you want to get even more CS damage and happen to have 5-star ARs, you can take coming from the Sea Abyss with Triton and Dagon, which has 2 times multiplier, rather than the +2 multiplier, unlike the +1 from Oyama Onis. But that's pull for 5-star ARs.
Right. I was just saying it's rare to have a unit that can both deal so much damage as well as have a skill locking ability like that for a consistently long period of time. So it's nice to have it on a free unit. The previous 2 were just Arachne and Benten, and Benten has been quite outclassed for a while now and is still quite weak, despite being one of the most famous binders. And Arachne is just she's fine for skill lock, but it's
kind of the low rate is 50%.
Yeah, it's very low rate.
It's fun how just now it's 3 different girl free units that gives different versions of skill locking.
Otohime is not free.
I keep on forgetting that. Oh my god!
The free unit is being reviewed after this
she
one.
should be free. Fuck this.
I wish it was free. Can you imagine SA 100 crit plus?
Yeah.
Gimme.
Oh, man.
Imagine.
Can't believe I didn't pull her. God damn it.
Pull.
You have the resources.
Maybe.
Oh, alright. I didn't really talk about unit synergies. So since attack up and crit plus are such rare buffs, especially crit plus, almost no one gives that. I think it's just Wakan. She has plenty of people she can synergize with. If you want crit, you can go for Thunderbird, Island Asterios, Hephaestus, R19, who all give crit. Some of them are in better positions, like Thunderbird can sit in front of sniping Otohime, who can still hit the entire column. Stuff like that. Attack up's also pretty rare, so anyone who gives Vigor, Ardor,
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I've already done a video with this, but She Who Must Not Be Named synergizes perfectly with Otohime because
of course she does.
All their buffs, every single buff that Otohime gives herself is completely, or Four-star at least, is completely unique to the other person's buffs, which is Vigor, Ardor, Limit, I guess Arousal, Glint, which is nice for the 100% crit plus rate, Spoonerism, and crit from thingy CS. So obviously it synergizes perfectly well.
Too bad she can't equip the Tetsuox card that gives CP on buff, but oh well.
Oh, dude, I wish. But yeah, Otohime is very strong. She has a simple kit, but the numbers are jacked up really high, and the buff's really unique and strong.
RBIC in the chat. Okay. I don't have too much thoughts on her. She's just very clear in purpose. It's refreshing how obviously how you're supposed to play her. Do damage, don't get hit, and like fucking double lock people. Go crazy for that. And charm, I guess, if you do decide to get hit.
She also has you first.
She's pretty much just a selfish attacker with a minor disruptor, I suppose.
Yeah, she doesn't. I mean, the double lock is pretty much the main thing that can help other people. But honestly, I think Otohime should go last most of the time, so she can benefit from everyone else. Like, unless you really need the double lock on someone.
Or if you like want to play white her charm for some reason, which he does. You can do that.
Wow, using Otohime for the charm. Amazing.
Truly revolutionary, yeah. She also has a cute CS. This is Robot Shark.
I should go check that out eventually.
You watched my video.
I should go check it out and pay more attention eventually. Alright, any remaining thoughts from you, Irby? I don't think I'm changed with all my thoughts.
I don't think there's a lot to say. She's pretty much if Christmas Kalki was a better snipe unit.
Oh no, Irby abandoning his standhood for Kalki. I see how it is.
Offensive.
I remember when you were so excited for a skit. Whatever happened? What happened to Kalki? I cry every time.
I don't know. Otohime was released. That happened.
She also has a really nice design.
God, her blue design is so good and sharp. I don't understand why I like it. I need to look at more. I need to look at all the skins more. I haven't looked at all the skins for the past event for so long. I bet like a million people received the beach skins and I haven't seen them yet.
She doesn't even. She has like a 3-star skin, and she doesn't really have a skin for her 4-star. So well.
Doesn't she have a skin for that like is all ripped or something?
That
was in the trailer.
I think, but
there you go.
I can't look it up right now. Okay, comments. I love her kit. Same. An attack graced her hair, and she said, "You know, what? I'm not attacking ever again." It's Otohime. I was looking for a unit that hits hard without needing to move. Yeah, that is pretty nice. Long time since I've seen double lock in a new unit. Nice. Yeah, we were talking about that. It's pretty much just limited to Toji and what's the place? Tangaroa.
On charge only.
Yes. Yeah. So that's neat. I mean, it's not. I mean, the CS lock is useful, but it's not. There are better ways of preventing that, but skill lock part is always useful. Or any lock unit in general, but besides skill lock and Daikokubo, who cares about him?
Lock is shit.
I do.
Skill lock is pretty much the better
yeah.
lock.
Charge skill lock, I mean, is shit. Why does charge skill lock exist? It's so bad.
I don't know.
You're gonna deny their charge for like 2 turns before they inevitably get it. Okay.
Just for Ifrit. My guillotine extends to Daijohoku haters too, and my basket is of heads is far from full. Flexing the Shinikin, she good. Love how she randomly has Mecha Man. It's lovely that skill results that is added to new units without changing it all.
Is it really that old?
It's. I think it came out with
came out last
Algernon.
year.
Yeah, even though it came out last year, it has existed since the beginning of time. If you saw the old data.
It's. I guess.
Yeah, it was one of the very first things inside the game data, very early skill ID, but it just wasn't released until just recently. Was that break? It's an okay ability. I'm just this is their way of saying yes. skill
She is
evolution. Skill evolutions will still happen, I guess. Skill
Skill
specific
evolution
ones.
will happen, but Otohime will not get it because Algernon will get a unique. Wait, actually, which one did he? Which skill did he improve?
It was the
The last
third
one,
one.
Full Metal
Okay.
Jacket or something.
Okay, so not Mecha Man.
Full Metal Janitor, something like that.
Full Metal. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, but that wasn't the skill specific.
Full Metal Alchemist. Nothing. I don't know if her CP attack could display on my tablet, like the Jamboree variants can't display their CP attacks on my tablet. Have you tried downloading all assets and then crashing because it's terrible? Who, Lee, Kawaii, and
Don't say it. Hidden.
Who's in it with everyone? That's the whole point of the. I wouldn't say Leon Anson does it with everyone specifically.
Yeah, none does
Bring
not
her-
synergize
Bring
with
her
himself.
with bringing
I
her
just-
with Z's. Let's go.
Very expensive.
But yeah, most people. Ooh, good thing, good thing that I have her too. Oh, they talk about Ri. She's her kit
Ri.
isn't a puzzle. Yeah, Ri. Her kit isn't a puzzle to figure out. Yeah, Ultimate's kit is simple. Off topic, but I just finished red texting Shen. Oh, nice.
I see. Moving on from Vargas already. Didn't know it
Is
happened that fast.
Is that an indication of how long this bloody stream is taking, Jesus?
Yeah, it's been 2 hours and 10 minutes, and we're still missing a unit.
Come on, guys. This kit is also so small. How can you spend so much time talking? I'm sorry. I have to talk about everything. I have to do my calculations, man.
It's true.
Thank God to Yasu is immune to double lock. I'm so glad he's immune to a debuff free whole units give out. Yeah. I mean, hey, 2 of them are water units, so instead of an actual debuff like bind or a unit.
Oh, he's just salty because he's not immune to all still sealing like labors.
He's immune to all locks but not bind.
Yeah.
Oof. And Jamboree Eisen is the opposite. Yeah, just bind but not the locks.
A lot of units are immune to bind and not locks.
Alright, that is all. Let us move on to
The last unit of the banner was Otohime, but the last
the
unit
one
we'll
who's
discuss.
actually the free unit.
Whatever, she should be the free unit. Give her to me. God damn it, who is this unit? Who is it?
How ridiculous that would be. She can easily deal several million.
Hello, Astarte exists. I think the standard for ridiculousness has already been passed, okay? Alright, let's conclude finally with the last unit. Yamasachihiko. Did I say that right? I think I did.
Yamasachihiko.
Okay, Yamasachihiko. I suck ass. Irby, please, if you will.
Last, but almost least, is
Almost least.
His kit is all over the place, to be honest. His 3-star and 4-star are actually very similar. It only differs on the rates mostly, primarily at least. So his primary gimmick is that he's capable of pulling on-demand enemies on a short range, and also the collaterals on their side. So that's almost a 3v3 range on demand, which honestly it's not really that unique anymore. We already have Hephaestus and
Dagon.
So it's kind of like whatever. He also has a small chance of applying break, but he can't benefit from it because it's after attacking, and it's also a very low rate of 60% on the 4-star and even lower on the 3-star. So it's kind of but his primary thing, his other thing is that he also, when he moves, he changes 100% to slash range. He gains weapon change to slash, and also gains a lot of other benefits, such as gaining vigor, nourishment, and 500 HP, all at different proc rates for some reason that I cannot possibly understand, because they're just like 100%, 90%, and 80%. I don't understand why the rates aren't all 90% or all 100%, but
it's there to
just
add
all
artificial
different.
complexity, obviously.
Yeah, so pretty much he gains these 2 attack buffs and some HP, so that he can hit very hard on or at least moderately hard on slash range, and exploit the break he inflicted on the units. On the unit he inflicted it on, at least in short range, if he pulled him down. He also has one thing I forgot to mention is that these two buffs, vigor and nourishment, actually last the same amount as the weapon change, so you can't actually benefit from them at all in short range.
He's intended
they'll
to.
be over.
Yeah, he's intended to do the massive damage only in slash range. For him to actually fish units inwards, he'll need to intentionally opt out of getting those extra damage buffs.
Yeah, so you're never going to take advantage of this in slash range, but you can take advantage of it on his CS because he changes to magic range and also inflicts break on all the units he hits, and also pulls them down 2 squares, and also pulls down the horizontally adjacent units as well. So he's got a really big pull on his CS. Probably one of the highest, but there are other pulls that pull the whole board, so it's not really that unique. But it is a free unit, so you're going to get his SA to 100, and you're going to get that break at the highest possible level. So that's pretty good. You get three methods of increasing your attack for a very powerful charge.
Would you like
skill.
the number on that?
I don't.
I think it's 60 something Ks.
Yeah, that's correct. It's 64,384 if he has vigor, nourishment, and a SA 100.
Yeah,
when he breaks
and I
them.
think his damage per square when he has vigor and nourishment is 70k.
So on an enemy who's broken, yes, if he has vigor, nourishment, and they are broken, it will deal 17k.
Only
Yeah.
17k.
Only.
Only
come on.
70K.
His attack stat's not that great.
The heck?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
but-
2 different buffs, and like also break at max and at his charge too. The heck?
No, his charge is the 64.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Well, that's.
Pay attention.
Yeah. Okay. He also has other things like face start guts, but for some reason, it's not 100%. It's 90%.
Everyone loves it.
Mountain
it's
Dweller
still
is just too
seething.
powerful. I don't get why this is 90%.
There
This
must be
is
why he hates Mountain Dwellers.
Whenever I see advantage against Mountain Dweller, I'm just like, why does it matter if you have advantage? They have guts. Jesus Christ! Like, what are you doing? It's.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just lore reasons or whatever. Where just.
yes, it's primarily lore reasons that he has bonus damage to Mountain Dweller, but Mountain Dweller isn't really that bad of an advantage because a lot of units actually have the Mountain Dweller skin, as shown down there, and also the Wyvern mobs also have Mountain Dweller, so that's not too bad. It's very situational, but it's less situational than other bonus multiplier advantages. At least since Mountain Dweller is so spread out to so many units, it's not that bad. The main
Ship sinker.
his main issue is that he doesn't have a lot of defensive options to optimize his playstyle. He only has that guts, and he's also incentivized to get hit, but he only has guts to protect himself and nothing else. After he gets hit, he has a 70% chance of inflicting protection left and right and to 3 units below him, and also grants 6 CP to the same units at a lower rate of 60%. I don't understand why this is here in this kit in particular.
Those really
Because-
should be applying to himself.
Yes, it doesn't apply to himself, so I don't understand what it's doing here. But maybe it's for potential skill evolutions, because this literally does not belong in this kit, at least in my opinion, because he doesn't have the kit to sustain himself outside that 500 HP on move and the nourishment heal. That's not going to be enough to keep him
That's kind
healthy.
of like the weakest healing buff too. This
Yes.
is like what, 300 HP or something? It's nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you don't even want to move him all the time as well. You only need to move him like once every 3 turns. So you're not going to be moving him
It's just-
to get that 500 HP anyways.
I see this unit.
It's
and I just-
completely worthless.
Why would you want to use this unit? I don't understand. The whole gimmick of it is supposed to be like a unit that...
Hello?
It has a pretty CS with all the fish hooks.
I will check that out later. But yeah, his main gimmick is pulling units in and then dealing damage. But then there's already now 2 other units that does it so much better. The heck? And within the same turn, and he has to like fucking... He's not able to pull all the time,
Yeah.
and he's on... He won't need a side
That's why I kinda recommend him to be on the leader slot, so that he at least uses the pull to help other units or
And break.
and break. Yes.
If you want a
That
guaranteed pull...
really help with pulling ability.
Ugh.
Also, the recommended IRs I picked for him was probably the shooting star, so he could. So not because of the combo only, but because that it would also give you another option of actually getting evasion piercing on slash range if you ever need it at some point. I suppose, since you can change to slash range, that can be useful someday. I don't know. Maybe one day that will be useful. The Oz and Kotaro AR that gives quite to help his damage up at least, and reduce his damage intake as well from
Chance of crit too. Yeah.
ranged. Yeah, and the Uyamo Onis to get that CS multiplier up, so that he can do even more damage than he already does, because his CS is actually deals pretty respectable damage on his own.
Yeah.
And or the single bulls club that also increases
CP
the
every
CS
time they get a
multiplier.
buff, yeah.
Yeah, he gives
And
himself
yeah,
quite a
and
few
it's
buffs,
easy.
so
It could be pretty useful, even though it's only even though it's only 3 buffs every 3 turns, I suppose. At face start.
well, he needs to take what he can get.
Yeah, he's not as bad as he first looked, because of his hard hitting CS at least. But in terms of functionality, he's not really that useful.
I would say he's like
He's pretty much just a budget puller for people who don't have one.
Yeah.
Just use Arc. The heck.
I said for
Arc-
people who don't
Arc-
have one.
Arc only pulls like in
And a column.
a line.
Yes, but it's like
Pulls-
sniper
You
range.
can pull in 3 columns.
Or more if you CS.
Yeah, you can pull in more. You can potentially pull 5.
All I can say about this unit is I wish it was Otohime instead. God damn it.
Oh yeah, it's
It
also
would be Otohime, but with
That would
this
be-
kit.
oh god.
Uh,
That would also something that's nice is that it's pulls 2 squares rather than just 1, because that would be really annoying if it was just 1 square.
Yeah, it's 2 squares, so it goes immediately in front of him. That's why I put the arrows going directly down.
I guess that's pretty useful for him, just kind of a bit knowing that it's like it doesn't work with the rest of his kit, which expects him to be slash range for 3 fucking whole turns. That's like forever. Seriously, the hell? He's
okay.
I don't know. I haven't used him yet, really. Maybe I'll test him out before I like wreck him down so hard. But
He's not that bad.
Yeah, he's not as bad as
He's not Citri.
as I talked about.
I mean, he's
Dead one event unit.
he got a skill you don't know. All right, I think
Yeah, a Macho uses it better.
I think I'm just somehow underwhelmed with this kit because we've been super spoiled with how useful free units have been, and this one's just it's okay.
Yes, Sarah, but he's hot.
He's okay. He's like average hotness, I guess. Anyways, Arby, can
How
you?
dare you?
Are we done like the things Comic Con is in? I'm done with Comic Con this unit.
You could
Why-
say.
why are
What?
Where did you stop again? actually.
All right. Fish hook boyo. Oh yeah. Also, for those who didn't read his bio, the reason he has this, pull thing, slash thing, is because he turned his sword into 1,000 fish hooks for his brother, who basically said he didn't want them, and so he retained the ability to turn it back into a sword. So I guess now he has a giant whip of hooks that he can transform into a sword to slash.
And Zalga's point is but that's because I don't have a pair of eyes. Apparently, his art is actually pretty neat. His sword turning into millions of hooks.
Oh yeah.
His.
That's what it's supposed to be.
That's what I meant when I said he's pretty hot.
Attention.
Okay. I'm so drained. All right, let's continue.
Yeah,
please.
I thought we left that he's immune to all locks, but not bind, right?
Possibly, yeah.
I said the Eisen thing.
Oh, okay. So it's fish hook boyo. Yes, he is the fish book boyo. Finally, a hairy character. We literally just had Balor. Just call him Yama. We already have a few of those though. Forgetting Balor, pensive. I know, right? we need more. You can barely see it on him. It's because he always has clothes on. No shirtless kid yet. Yeah, that's probably the reason why he's not 5-star.
He kind of gives me like a Heracles or what's his face, Golden Bursty vibes. Some mixture of them. Like
the Yamasachihiko.
Yeah, in terms of how they look. Some like
sort of like that. He's actually a Teppen unit, and honestly, he does not look at all like Teppen's art style. He usually does more sort of like babyface characters, like Tomte. This is actually a pretty neat surprise.
Tomte's face
coming
is
from
so...
him at least. Yeah, that's pretty much all. Most of his art, at least.
It's okay.
Anyways, most bombs are fairly hairy. Hidden says, "I'm tired of bombs." I am now writing on his death note right now, right here. Don't let Irby read that. Gumtangs are the new trend now. Hidden, you're really pushing it right now, saying tired of bombs. It bomb way or the highway. Honestly, I want more hairy Reviox. Alright, I forgot about skill seating. Well, he wasn't fully seated. He led us into error. I can't believe this.
Wow.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
Well, at least you can now finally use the red texted Amy and Bob, Shennong, Zalgas with your Astarte. That'll be fun for you.
Do I even have Archie added?
You need to ask these people. Oh my god. You can say just use DT's thingy. Just use DT's Ryota. Just use Luther's fully seated Hakenshi, and then just use RT's Shennong. And it's like you have none of these people. You talk to them all the time. Jesus Christ. Well, maybe not these people.
Just use Haras Kotaro.
Yeah, I have that one at least.
Hey, you got one.
Do I have you added, by the way? No. I don't think so, actually. I think my friends list is full, but I need to check. And I don't even know if you were referring to me at all. My god, I was gonna say Reviox are usually hairy too. I want more characters by Gosu. I want more Sigma. Same. Okay. I don't understand why they made his kid like this. Me neither, to be honest.
The lore.
It doesn't make any sense. It's the lore.
I don't know about the protection thing, but the weapon change is pulling is.
I heard that he doesn't have a very high opinion of himself, so I guess that's why he doesn't protect himself, but protects others.
I mean,
Yeah.
doesn't he protect himself? That's like after he receives a damage though, but like...
Yeah, he pretty much does it, has that whole self-hate thing, probably.
Wow, he doesn't do it to himself. Rip.
So it sounds like they went far with the lore when lore kid gone wrong. I don't know his lore though. That's all about the lore. When I saw his 3 kid, I thought his 4-star was gonna start with slash range, kinda like Astarte work, to incentivize moving for more range, but apparently not.
That'd be a neat idea.
Yeah,
But
yeah, but
Be weird.
that's
instead
not
we got
the point.
Yamasachihiko.
Also, what his main deal is to pull. So why would you?
Why would they
want
restrict it to
try
just
this
shot
slash
range though?
at all?
I kind of wish they gave him snipe range. Jeez.
I'm in dungeon at the moment. I'll let you know when I get out. I think he's talking to Archie. They couldn't figure it out, so they just stuck the villagers on the wall and went with whatever stuff. Honestly, I think that's actually what happened. To be honest, he events on the usage, never touch outside. But I don't know. You can potentially use it outside events if you're brave enough. But the pull potential though. Actually, you guys should share your charts. I want to take a look at them, since I just sort of have you in the background.
You guys don't mind if I share it in the server?
Go ahead, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright. I mean, I already shared Herbies without asking before, so whatever.
Wow.
Rude. Wow.
Well, it's like, I asked now, and that's all that matters.
Free unit is free unit still. I know, exactly. At least we don't have to pull to get the hot guy this time. Too bad
I
can't
did.
even use him because... What?
I had the bull.
Oh.
Hombre.
It's because of Hombre. Well, he's not a new unit, so...
Well, at least he got him, so I guess. Someone's not that lucky.
You did get him very fast, didn't
Yeah, well, compared to like Eric. Well, I still had to spend like a decent amount of pulls. It kind of killed my stash, but yeah, not Erita levels of bad. That was really hard to hear.
Yeah, that was pretty terrible. Too bad I can't even use him because of cost limit. I mean, you can probably still fit him in with 3 stars, to be honest. Even if you have low
I
cost
can't.
limits.
Like, I'm actually
Well, that's because
using...
you're using like a lot of 5 stars and 4
He's
stars.
using like Andy, I think.
Yeah, but I want to delete everyone, jeez.
Well, then delete everyone with someone else.
I'm actually not...
Just use Takemaru.
I actually am already for the white quests. But the top...
Just use Tezcatli Poker.
I don't have them. You don't know.
Offensive. Okay, free unit equals don't show up in my banner pool. Yama looks like a Baradoji character.
I think he hit the nail on the head, Archie. That was my issue with this design. It's just Golden Bristy / Hercules
Issue?
generic Bara design. Like, it's...
I mean,
they're cut, but what else is there, you know?
I don't know. I think it's neat that we finally have a hunter aesthetic in the game that actually looks like traditional hunter.
But what about Temujin?
Temujin looks weird. I'm sorry. That's
With
not,
his, like, dog gums.
Oh,
it's not only that, his costume isn't even that
it's more ceremonial.
hunter vibe. Yeah, it's more ceremonial. That's kind of what I wanted to go with, but I didn't have the words for it. Where was I again?
Yama.
And he most likely is. I mean, almost all the units we're getting here in Housamo were based on units that the artist made in Dojins. Pretty much all of them. I mean, it's Housamo after all. I sure as hell don't want in my pool.
I kind of wish
Someone's
there was like an
Dojin
official
prompts.
Housamo Dojin.
All
I
these
mean, there's
characters.
unofficial ones.
Yes, I actually found Heracles' design in the Dojin from like 2 years ago from Sosuke, so
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that. That was funny.
this looks exactly the same. So I figured that LifeWonders just hires artists and just says, "Well, remember that Dojin you made with this character? Yeah, now we want this character in this game, but using these clothes exactly."
Isn't Noritaka
Perfect.
just Fuji but with a different fur pattern?
Pretty much. That's how it goes. It just goes.
You
I
actually
sure
do
as
have...
hell don't want it in my pool. Housamo is part. Okay, I already read this.
Oh boy, we're really going Jane at the end, huh? But yeah, okay.
I'm talking too much, so things are getting hard to say at least. I also got Tigre and Otohime. I'm done with this banner. I also got Hef immediately, and I'm done with this banner too. Hooray!
You know, after trying
wanted-
very hard for Otohime, I think I'm done with this banner too.
Yeah. You didn't try at all.
Exactly.
I wanted those two. At least I got Otohime. Irby, oh my god, you're so quiet. Oh god, is my volume that
You
bad?
sounded fine earlier, and now you sound very clear.
You sound
Very
clear, but
Oh.
you did sound like you're getting
Okay.
slower and slower. No, I get it.
Okay.
I'm 2 hours and a half. Jesus Christ, how long did we go?
He's trying to be sensual, the old whisper in your ear. I'm at full volume. He's eating his mic. I'm going deaf.
It's not.
I'm
that
sorry, I was adjusting the mic. But yeah,
Okay, well,
it's,
I think
it's fine now.
all
That's
three of
it.
us and the chat is losing their mind. We,
bad. I'm fine.
but your mind was lost long ago, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, that's true.
Imagine having a mind in 2020.
Imagine having a mind, can't relate. Anyway, that.
Oh, that was 2.5 hours.
Holy fuck! I'm like so fucking. I'm gonna take a long ass nap after this.
Wow, maybe doing the skill evolution separately would have been a better idea, huh?
Well, that would have been a shit video.
It would have been 2, and there are 3 of us. Please explain how that would have worked. Just like, and begin, and I just sat there quietly the entire time.
Yes.
I haven't edited clips related to that.
We could have just picked a random skill evolution to discuss.
What?
Don't worry
Like-
about it.
Just like pick an old one?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
No thanks. I think this was an alright decision. It turned out this way because it just happens. I
There
don't
was
know.
a lot to talk. I was already expecting 6 units, but
Didn't we like talk about
Uh,
more things in the previous discussion? Like
There
there were ARs
maybe.
too in the other ones, right? So I think
Yeah, but AR are quick.
I guess.
yeah, ARs are very quick, and
Ah.
skill evolutions are also pretty quick.
Alright, I guess the fault was
These are full unit analysis.
I guess the fault's on me then for not timekeeping as hard this time. Next time I'll be sure to rush you guys. Jesus Christ.
I mean, I was trying to rush a little.
Yeah.
It was taking
I
forever.
think it was mostly because comments were rowdy today.
Yeah, comments were pretty.
Usually there's like only like 8 or 9 people for like fucking twice that much, and
I think
everyone
I
talking.
think we peaked around close to 30.
Well, thank you for joining, everyone.
Yeah.
And also for doubling our stream lengths. It was very cool when that happened. Well, maybe we should be more sensitive.
That's fine.
but yeah,
Oh
it was.
God, imagine
it was
what
cool for
ARs.
us to join. Well, now that the hard part of this event is over, aka the beginning stuff, we can all just relax and start grinding numbly over levels 30 quests.
Yeah,
I'll
let's say street quests. Delayed event.
Yeah, if you guys didn't hear the news, the event was delayed, so don't expect the story to release, and don't expect any higher level quests for a while. It might be until next week. Jesus Christ.
Honestly, the story was extended, but it was delayed. That is, but the limit for the free quests and all hasn't changed at all, and the gacha. So
Nice.
they're likely gonna rush the event.
Oh God.
Wow.
So it's going to be like 2 weeks and it's over. Bye.
Well, I hope the story is still good, even if they dump all the parts at once. I hope.
I mean, it's.
I don't think it will. Just look at the banner and tell me that that's going to be a good story, please.
It has Tigre.
It has.
It has
feature-
fan service.
What was the last event that didn't have fan service? Don't say Cardi, because that doesn't count.
A lot of them.
The Jamboree
Uh,
banner.
The
Well,
Jamboree banner didn't have a lot of fan service. The banner looked pretty average, to be honest.
Yeah, everyone was actually dressed pretty conservatively until you switched to their thingies.
Same
Yeah,
for the
I suppose,
Valentines, actually.
Yeah, that one was. Actually, did they even have alt skins where they were like thing?
Well,
Alright.
I
They
think I was like,
did, but where it was ripped, the clothes were ripped.
Why are they even red? It doesn't make sense. They gotta add some sort of horny version, I guess. But it's weird how Valentine's is always the most conservative when it comes to that. So,
Very
Yeah.
conservative with Sutras Varai.
Very the most conservative. Gotta get his
He's the only egregious example, but he would look weird with clothes.
True.
Well,
True.
he has his clothes in one thing, but
Okay.
I think most of the event he was.
Speaking of timekeeping, sorry, stop. I'm fucking down.
Let me, sorry.
Okay. We need to stop the streams eventually. Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'll just read out the comments super quickly before I do the formal whatever thing. Goodbyes. You got almost everyone. Yes, congrats. I didn't get anyone. How dare you? And entire tickets waiting for the rest of Free Trust Shop. Multi-roll. The only thing I want is Miniaki. Same Gawi. Imagine trying to fit an AR discussion too if there's any.
Oh god. Then it actually would be 3 hours.
I would probably have been explicitly timekeeping if that was the case. I didn't expect it to be this long if it was just 6 units. Didn't you teach Discord teaching not to read chat? Twitch. But how else am I gonna represent with my poggers though? Or sour please, you know? Shouldn't crap like that. Be part of the cause. I wait till higher all quests. I wish they would just bring it out. I want to grind. Same thing. Head in. Sorry, please be good. I don't try to do it. I'm not gonna read it. I only read the official translations. Getting music. What is the music? From like 5 minutes ago.
I wasn't listening because I have it muted, so I don't hear an echo.
Okay. Hef titty touch kind of flop. No. Oh yeah, that was the first thing I mentioned to Zalk. Fucking. There's so much detail put into how their 2 breasts are like overlapping on top of each other, but then when you actually take a look at the detail work for his legs, it's just not there. Clearly, they emphasize the more important part.
Yeah.
Love your Lulu. Not. Lulu just got a better router and computer and. Don't be classist, hidden. Not everyone can need lucky to have money. Not everyone. Not everyone.
You didn't even mention the good music for this event. You didn't even put it in this.
Yeah, I would have mentioned.
How dare you?
I would have mentioned it if there was good music.
How dare you?
It's okay. It's not amazing to me, but if I have more time, then for sure I'll add it next time. Not because it's good, but because it's relevant. I just wasn't able to either way because it was not enough time for preparation this time.
Well, if you did work yesterday, like I told you.
Oh my god, give me a break. I mean, did you prepare all these assets? I don't think so, did you? But,
I prepared my assets.
okay, I think I'm losing my mind on stream a bit, but thank you for joining us. You can find Irby at his own channel. It's linked in the description. Irby, any comments on what the content you make and what they can find at your channel?
I make fixed damage challenge techniques and other things. TM.
If you ever get tired of my Kotaro strats, be sure to look at Irby's channel because he has a whole propaganda against everything, against what I do. So it's good to see diversity. Irby's definitely a good source. I look at his videos regularly to see like, wow, I can't believe I missed that because I've been living to Kotaro. And additionally, you can find Zalgus' playlist linked in the description. You can also find his playlist now unlisted in his main channel.
It's actually public now, the playlist. Not the videos themselves, so you still can't search them. So hopefully I won't get inundated with bloody bots.
Would you prefer I link your channel or the playlist itself?
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, this channel leads directly to the playlist.
Yeah, it's on the front, so you can find my playlist, which is filled with usually just like various challenge runs of CQs where I like do a condition. Most of the time it was 3 stars only.
Until Erita started sucking your territory.
Or like a 3-star with a support from someone else. Although, yeah, then Erita did something else. So one of my later videos was the 3 units only, which was nice.
Aren't you glad?
My latest
finally getting a chance to use Starte and Arachne?
I didn't even get to use Arachne in the first video I did because she actually made things worse by pulling.
You did eventually use her in backslap for a little bit.
Yes, I did a video of the Jamboree CQ3 with Otohime and girls only.
Yeah.
Which you should all watch because I like that video the most.
One-shotting everything with Otohime.
Yeah, if you want to see how ridiculous Otohime and Shu Must Not Be Named are together, you can just watch that. I literally one-shot Kimun with over 1 million damage. It was fun. It also has the event music, so I like that better.
And if only I was lucky enough to pull Otohime. Oh well.
You didn't pull it off.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, that concludes our discussion. Thank you for joining us. Quite the turnout. I'm very happy you all came because this is probably the most effort I put in the stream recently. And, well, what? Between the thumbnail and
you literally just said you started today.
Sure. What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Must assets was slapped up today, or
Yesterday and today. Get your facts straight. But that doesn't change the fact that I like to be on it. Thank you for joining us. We'll be looking forward to see you guys in our next discussion. And for my own channel, I'll see you guys in the next video or whenever. Maybe I'll start streaming again. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
You sure you don't want to hang out 15 more minutes for the round 3 hours?
No, I'm pretty sure. Don't want to keep these guys waiting any longer. Thank you for joining us, everyone. And what else?
End the stream already.
Bye.
Okay, on 3, guys. 1, 2, 3. Bye. Zalgus, where are you? Zalgus,
I'm right here.
Say bye.
I did say bye. Is it not picking up?
Prolong it. Like bye. Okay, I'm just gonna close the stream. Goodbye, everyone.